are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
Tarmac Sports.
Good evening and welcome to Buxton Raceway for the final round of the British Drift Championship 2019. You're joined by myself in the tower, Sarah Hall, and my good friend Ian Waddington, who's also on the mic with me tonight. Now, we've just seen some amazing qualifying from the Pro-Am, the final qualifying of this season from the Pro-Ams. Ian, it's just been unbelievable, hasn't it?
It certainly has, Sarah. Yeah, look, some of these guys pushed too hard.
Yeah, a little bit too hard.
Some of them pushed above and beyond, and we really did see a very good qualifying session. In fact, the qualifying session alone has completely mixed up the championship ever so slightly. So we're not going to get into that just yet, but we'll talk you through that as we move through this evening.
Absolutely. And now, we witter on quite a lot, me and you, don't we, up here? There's a lot of cars on the grid lined up there. They're eager to get started with these battles.
They certainly are. Look, these guys are ready to rock and roll. They want to get this done and dusted. They want to crown the championship. Let's take a look, though, Sarah, at the season review of what exactly happened this year.
Round one of the 2019 British Drift Championship kicked off at Teesside, the home of UK drifting. Martin Cowley and Paul Cunnington slogged it out for the third step of the podium, with Cowley proving the stronger driver, kicking off a year-long rivalry between the two. But it was Josh King and Nick Brady who battled it out for the top two steps of the podium. Round two headed for Scotland for Europe's only purpose-built drift track, Driftland. Once again, Cowley and Cunnington stepped into the ring, and again Cowley proved the tougher contender and took third step of the podium. In the final, William Hanna took on Hugh Saville. Hugh did everything he could to take down William, but it was local boy Hanna who took the top step of the podium. Round 3 and we were back at a soaking wet Teesside Autodrome. This time the third step on the podium was gifted to Maciej Blejewski after car failure stopped his battle rival Neregius making it to the start line. The final battle was between British Drift Championship veterans Carl Farrar and Ian Rutherford, with Farrar taking his first and only win of the 2019 season. Round 4, the British Drift Championship returned to the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham. Drift Cup driver Charlie Hume rocked the Pro-Am class, and despite being beaten to the third step by Willie Hanna, Hume proved his worth in the championship. The final once again involved Josh King. After car problems though, King looked like his championship was over, but this was far from the case, and King would take down Matt Fountain in a spectacular final battle. Round 5, Wigan Three Sisters Race Circuit. A new technical layout never before seen in British Drift history would push a stacked grid to the limit. After earning a drive in the infamous E32 Fast R BMW, Andy Frost would prove too much for Louis Edwards. But Louis wouldn't go down without a fight and went on to beat Eagers Manilga to claim third spot at the podium. Josh King was once again in the final, this time against Andy Frost, and once again proved he's unstoppable with a third win of the season.
Ian, what an amazing roundup of the season. I mean, it's just been action-packed from start to finish. It's blown me away.
You kind of forget really what's happened this season, who's done what and who's come where, and that little review just shows you exactly what these guys have gone through, and it just goes to show you exactly what Paul Cunnington has gone through this season and where he's ended up. And you know what, he's sitting in a decent place in the championship at the moment, and right now he topped qualifying, so he gets himself a bye run through to the top 16. Even more valuable points for Cunnington as he moves on. Look, right now I know Josh King's sitting in them pits thinking, wow, I've got a battle for my place in top 16, and Cunnington, he's claiming all these points. Not going to be an easy night for any of these guys. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to witness Paul Cunnington. He's just going to put on a bye run, which is just going to be his league run, in fact, and just to take a look at this, Sarah, and just watch what he's got to offer. Cunnington absolutely flying. Still, that qualifying run, 90 points, got him on that top step in qualifying. Just a little bit shy there of that outside zone, but nevertheless, Cunnington, he's not going to push too hard. He doesn't want to have an accident in his bye run, but nevertheless, Cunnington looking like the strongest driver on the grid. Could this be the weekend, Sarah?
This is the thing, Ian. I mean, we guess all the time, don't we? We make our estimations, and every single round something has happened that just throws the whole championship into contention and goes against everything that we think is going to happen, and this could be the case. I mean, he's top qualifying and he is not far behind those top three drivers in points wise. It's still all to play for me.
It certainly is, yeah, and we're not going to really know exactly how this is going to play out until we get
to the 16. At least we won't know what on earth is going to happen with that, but he's got his bye run done there, and looks on his side with that, and it pushes him through a little bit further.
Yeah, so there you go. Paul Cunnington puts down his bye run and advances through to the top 16. We move it along to the next battle of the evening, which will be this one. Well, two good friends behind the scenes, two enemies on the circuit. It will be Davidas to take on Neregius, and these guys know each other very, very well, but don't forget that car of Neregius is suffering some damage in qualifying.
Absolutely. I mean, to see him back out again is absolutely fantastic, because the state of that back wheel earlier on was not something pleasant to watch.
Well, they're off the line. Let's see how this one plays out right now. Davidas to leave and Neregius to give chase. You can see Neregius right up onto the door straight away. But Davidas not as high up onto the bank as what we'd like to have seen. They come through the centre of the circuit. Now smoke going to be an issue in this top 32 and top 16 and all the way through to the final. Lights shining and vision impaired for both these guys. They come down in front of the judging tower, and you can see Neregius on the foot brake there, just adjusting himself, working his way back up onto the side of Davidas's E46 BMW. Little wheel hop onto the curb there. Neregius though gets himself way in the middle of the track, completely smokes himself out and shuts it down. And Neregius, wow.
Again, this has not gone how we predicted at the beginning. I mean, he's been looking, apart from his incident earlier on, you know, driving wise, he's looking confident in the car. unfortunately, that's just not gone his way. Did he just get lost a bit in the smoke behind him?
Yeah, look, he's just showing you there on the
there you
couldn't
go.
see. He couldn't see. We
Couldn't
know
see
that Devedas's car makes a lot of smoke. It's dark now. There's a lot of, obviously this place is completely floodlit. We've got all the event lighting going on, but that has not helped Nerejus. And yeah, he got lost in the smoke. Thought that he could transition earlier than what he did. And unfortunately, there for Nerejus, that's going to be a 10-0 advantage to Devedas.
Unfortunately, so. I mean, again, it's still all to play for. He's now going to lead. Let's see, if he can pull something out of the bag, and hopefully Devedas, in Nerejus' eyes, is going to make a mistake.
Well, Nerejus is going to hope that Devedas puts a foot wrong, but Willie advance through to the top 16. They come flying off the line. Nerejus knows the only way to win this one is to drive away from his good friend. They come firing into the outside zone, and Nerejus tries to smoke out Devedas right now, tries to maybe achieve an inactive chase from Devedas, but Devedas is just going to play this one smart, middle of the track, not do anything stupid, just keep that car drifting, make his way around, as Nerejus absolutely flies into the outside zone. And can Devedas make his way in? Oh, he can't. Devedas makes big contact and has to shut it down. And just like that, we got it one more time.
Did I just predict something right?
You just got that.
Have I gone all the way to the last round and predicted one thing right?
You've got it spot on, Sarah. Look,
once.
We don't know what could happen, and look at that. The whole back end of Devedas's car got ripped off. He made contact with the wall. And is that Nerejus out of the car? Yeah, Nerejus out of the car talking. No, Cunnington. Sorry, Paul Cunnington over there saying, "Look, don't worry about it. You can still go for it. It's just the back end of the car." Well, look at this. We need to make it official. Brad Bennett and Ryan, decision is in. Yeah, one more time. 2-10-0.
Fair enough. I think that's the only way to solve that one, isn't it? I can't believe the state of the back of that car. It looks quite unbelievable to see everything just so exposed like that. I thought he took the bumper off, but it turns out he's took kind of would be the boot and the quarter and everything with it as well.
Yeah, the whole back of the car.
Look at that. It looks so bizarre to see.
Well, so it does look like Devedas is going to take maybe a 5-minute rule. He's going to go back into the pits. These guys granted a 5-minute rule, in a one more time to go repair the cars. Fuel and tyres. Look at the rear wheel.
Actually, that doesn't look. No, that's not right.
Passenger side rear wheel, absolutely.
Yeah, there's
massive damage, towing in horrendously, and you can see there. Look.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So he made a big contact with the wall there.
Absolutely.
Could this be the tale of the tape for the evening? Could the smoke and the lack of lighting be the reason that most of these guys get knocked out?
It could be. I mean, it's adding a whole new element. This night drift scenario, isn't it? I mean, it's not something that most of these guys are going to be used to, and it's adding a whole other element to it.
Well, so there we go. So that will be a one more time between Devedas and Nerejus. I do believe we are going to potentially move it along to the next battle of the night, which will be Stephen McConnell to take on Mike Lardner. Also, just getting word from our track marshal Toby that there's some oil actually on the circuit as well. So oil on the circuit down by the roundabout, I do believe. Oh yeah, we can see it there. If you look on the camera on the crossover, you could see the oil across the screen ever so slightly. So we are going to have to hold back this battle between McConnell and Mike Lardner. Obviously unsafe to compete, so we're going to have to get the crew out there and get rid of all that oil. Just wondering if that is a big patch of oil in front of Mike Lardner's car right now. On the start line.
Could well be, couldn't it? Because most of the little patches of puddles have dried up now, but there's still a couple of little bits hanging around, so it's hard to tell from up here what is actually down there. But the guys on the track will hunt it out and find and sort that problem out if there is a little bit of oil spill.
Well, could look like upset straight away. The first real battle of the night, causing more upset than what anybody could have predicted.
It's just the theme of the season, isn't it? Really, it's completely unpredictable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it looks like we're getting a signal there from our start line marshal that there's quite a lot of oil down off of the start line and right across the centre of the track. So big problem there. We're taking a quick look back at a replay if we can see exactly where Devedas made that contact with the wall and where he ripped the back end off of that BMW. Because he was playing it safe up until here. It looked like he was just doing what he needed to do. Nothing's too silly, not making any mistakes. And then this is where Nera just got himself nice and close to the wall And is this where Devidas got it all wrong? I was just out of shot. Yeah, looked like Devidas hit the wall out of shot there and ripped the back end off of that E46 BMW. As you can see, flapping around in the wind. And Nera just gifted the 10-0 back the opposite way. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, look, oil spill on the start line from these guys. Wow, and ladies and gentlemen, we are just receiving some information from our track marshals and our track staff in the paddock that Devidas has retired from competition. So Devidas retires from competition, saying that car is unrepairable.
Yeah.
They haven't got the parts, so they haven't got the ability to fix it here at the track. So he has retired from competition. So Nerigis will get the win, from that one more time battle and advance through into the top 16. He will then face off against Paul Cunnington. Things looking a bit juicy right now.
That's one way to put it. It's going to be such an interesting battle later on with these two guys, but such a shame for Devidas to go out the way he did. But I mean, he was giving it his all, and he'll be happy to know that he was giving it his all. It's just a shame that the damage was caused that way.
Yeah, such a shame there for Nerigis for Devidas to get taken out of competition like that. But you know what? Nerigis will take that, because Nerigis in Teesside broke his car in the team battle, blew his clutch up, I do believe, so he couldn't compete against Maciek, which means he didn't get third step on the podium. So Nerigis right now will be thinking, you know what, I'll take anything I can get in this championship.
That's kind of his little saving grace now, that he's got another chance at this.
So it does look like the oil clean-up, Sarah, on aisle 3 is bigger than what we first assumed, and our judges are going to be leaving the tower to go down there and help the track staff clear this up. As you can see, oil all the way across the track, and look, this track, our good friend Matt House, earlier on today, he had a little walk around this track. He likes to do these little videos where he walks around and he tells you guys...
Does, I like it, because I've never been before. So
you've never been drifting? You've been 5 times, Sarah. You can't make that excuse up anymore.
Before.
Oh, you've never been to Buxton before?
So it's good to see these,
I've never been. This is the first time I've ever been to Buxton. Yeah, so I wasn't very familiar with the track until I walked it just the other day. And you know what, Matt House, he took a walk around this track. He had a good look, and he's made a little video for you guys at home. So if you haven't been able to make it here, you can see exactly what this track has to offer for our drivers.
It's the final. We're at Buxton. It's a banked oval. It's the longest circuit that we have had so far this year. We've got 13 clipping points. Let's go check them out. So as they come into this clip 1, which is basically the initiation point just before we get onto that concrete wall surrounding this awesome circuit. So clip 2 is actually a full drifting zone coming around this whole corner. Massive section for them to get right up and close on this wall, but no room for error. So as they come around that bottom corner through clips 1 and 2, as they're coming up to clips 3 and 4, they're actually cutting back through the middle of the oval to then take the bottom section and then come back across again, and then they're going to be finishing in a first time only for BDC. We have a roundabout before the finish.
Fantastic insight into the track there. Really, really interesting. Like we've just said, we've never been before, so it's really good to see Matt kind of go around it and look at all the different clips. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, Matt doing a very good job there. As you can see, our track staff still down there cleaning up the track with our judges and whoever else thought they would jump in. And Sarah, in that we've got a confession, haven't we? We've got a confession to make. In that break, we had a cupcake.
We're still eating it because it's that big.
And who have we got to say a big thank you to, Sarah?
Rat Trap RC.
Yeah, Rat Trap RC.
And they're here.
They are. Rat Trap RC, a massive thank you to those guys. They gave us a big box of donuts at Birmingham NEC, and then they brought us a big tray of cupcakes for the tower, because we're all very cold and very tired, and it's been a very long day for us, guys.
Yeah, we need a little sugar hit.
So they give us a little sugar hit. So a massive thank you to those guys. So if you want to see those guys, they're directly behind the grandstand. They've got a big white gazebo. They're over there. They're drifting through the night. They've actually got little mini spotlights.
Oh, really?
On their RC track.
Mimic this?
Yes. Not this track, but they've made.
Yeah,
they've got little spotlights. They're drifting at night.
Awesome.
And very cool. Yeah, very nice bunch of guys. It's a pleasure to have them along at every event, and so if you bringing us cakes.
Yeah, well, obviously we're going to enjoy that.
And everyone keeps asking me why I've put so much weight on this year. They're like, "How did it happen? How did you get so big?" And I'm like, "Well, just because everyone keeps bringing me cakes at every event." So there we go. You can see the extent of the oil there spilt on the track, and the guys down there putting in the work. These track marshals are literally gods. They've been out in the weather all day today, drenched from head to toe. Now they're out there in the freezing cold, cleaning up the track, ready so we can send the next battle of the day, McConnell versus Lardner. I don't know about this one, to be honest with you, because Lardner's not been on form, and he'll admit that he's not been on form.
Yeah. Steve McConnell's been today pretty strong, hasn't he? So
he's been very strong, yeah. He's been looking on form. He's always on form. He's a very good, consistent driver, very technical. He's a good line driver. I think you find that a lot with these guys that drive these low-powered BMWs. They don't have all the power in the world to use, so what they end up, they learn to drive these cars, and it really brings out the driving skill. And you can see they won't use a lot of handbrake, they won't use a lot of foot brake, they'll use the momentum of the car, and they'll drive the car to its absolute limit. And I think that's brilliant to see.
It is, isn't it? You can just see the skill coming through, and they're honing their skills every single round because they have to.
Exactly.
You haven't got the power to rely on.
No, and I think Mike Lardner will be sitting there on the line saying, I know this guy's going to go hard in this next battle. I can't give 50%. So, as you can see, look at the extent of the oil all the way around the roundabout there. Not sure who was to blame, but we will find out.
I'm sure we will.
We will.
Do we send them the bill later on?
They're going to get the bill. Yeah, they're going to get the bill.
It's their round later on, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going to. That's
better than sending them the bill.
We don't send them the bill. We'll just say that it's their round. They have to buy everybody here a drink. How about that?
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Like
I reckon the boss will be on board with that one.
He certainly will be. Yeah. So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hang around after the event and come and party with all the drivers and the crew, will be in the tent. Further along down, by the pits, there is a bar going to be in there. Hopefully, Luke Paul, the generic white guy, has made it to the event to DJ.
Hopefully someone's brought him a jack to wherever he was on the M1.
He was last seen on the M1, broken down.
With a flat tyre.
If not, we'll have to just FaceTime him. We'll have to set up at the side of the motorway, DJ, and we'll FaceTime him, and we'll just plug it in. Fine, that'll do.
That's not a bad shout.
That'll be as good as we'll get. So, yeah, hopefully the generic white guy has turned up. If not, tomorrow night, the big party. Tomorrow night's the big party, the blowout. We're going to go all out tomorrow night.
Season finale, why
Season finale, we crown the champion of our Pro Championship. We get to party. Everyone gets to party tomorrow night till the early hours. And then Sunday, Battle Royale. Looking forward to that one.
This is going to be
Not looking forward to commentating with a headache, though.
And why on earth would you have a headache?
Because I'm bound to consume too much alcohol on Saturday night.
Tomorrow.
It's going to happen. As much as I say to myself now, I won't drink too much.
You know you will.
There's going to be too many people buying me beers.
There's going to be a very quiet commentary tower on Sunday.
Very quiet.
Well, you have to come down and see it anyway because we're not live streaming it.
No, we're not live streaming it, you're right.
So you have to come down on Sunday and watch the action. Did you really?
I made that call. I said to Matt, no, I'm not going to do it. And he said, why not? I said, because I'm going to have a headache. It's going to be 3 days of talking. I might not even have a voice left by then.
This is also true.
So I said, let's not live stream it. Let's make people come out of their houses and see this event.
Yeah, and so they should as well. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be something pretty unique as well.
Well, I'm telling you now, the ticket sales have gone through the roof.
Have they really?
So you don't want to miss out on this one. It's going to be incredible. We've got some seriously good wild cards taking on some of the best from the British Drift Championship.
Yeah.
And I do believe that if you win it, you get a pro license in BDC. If you're not already a pro driver,
that's insane.
I think you get a pro license. I'll clarify that later on in the evening.
Let's find that out, yeah.
But let's take a look at the battle tree. Look at this, as you can see now. McConnell, Lardner coming up there. Rutherford taking on Kluszewski. Stanton to take on Wallbank. Payne to take on Fitzgerald. Chapman to take on Byrne. Byrne, can he get that car fixed? We know he suffered big impact with the wall. Gibbs to take on McGuire. Cowley gets a bye run. Now look at this. This is interesting because Cunningham got a bye run into the top 16. Cowley gets a bye run top 16. That is your top third and fourth place in the championship. Manilga versus Sykes, King versus Hanna, Hume versus Parnham. Edwards gets a bye run. Edwards, second place in the championship, gets a bye run. Barker versus Farrar. Barker has to battle it out for Farrar. That's going to be a very good battle.
That is going to be a very good battle.
Chopin versus Jones. Jones versus Wright. Listen, the biggest thing is that King has got a battle against Willie Hanna. That is not going to be an easy battle.
No.
Hanna knows if he takes down King, he opens the championship up for either Cunningham, Cowley or Edwards, and they'll already be in the top 16. So King right now has so much pressure on his shoulders. I don't even know how he's going to do it. I don't know how he's going to clear his mind to get around.
Who knows? I mean, my mind is blown at this point because there's just so many opportunities for who's going to end up battling who tonight. I think it's going to be something pretty special.
Well, I think everyone kind of thought that Josh King would qualify high he may have got a bye run, he might have had an easy ride into the top 4, and he might have, sealed the championship in qualifying. That wasn't the case.
Nope.
King did not look comfortable whatsoever in qualifying. However, Cowley, Edwards and Cunnington, well, they said to King, look at this is why we're chasing you.
We're still behind you,
We're
don't
still
forget
behind
about
you.
us.
Yeah, exactly. And that qualifying session for them was just incredible, and that really rocked the championship, because potentially, I think tonight you could see King get knocked out early on, and I think you could see someone crown the champion that we didn't even think could be the champion.
I think
Louis Edwards could take it. We got any Louis Edwards fans in the house? We've got
There's a few of them out there.
There's a few of them out there. So I think Louis Edwards out of nowhere could take this.
I
think he could
he's
take
got
the
potential.
championship from King at the last minute.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's scored brilliantly all year, and he's been consistent and kind of just creeping behind everyone the whole time, going, I'm still here, I'm still in the fight. He could take it, you're right. But it could be exactly like what you said, somebody we don't expect could just come in and pip them at the post at the last minute.
It's going to be very, very interesting. So it does look like we are almost ready to go. Looks like our track staff are just making sure the last bits of the track are clear. That truck is pretty serious business, isn't it?
I quite like that.
I quite like that
Yeah.
too. See if we can get someone to give it away at the end of the weekend, yeah?
Sounds good
like
to
a
me.
prize.
Yeah. As long as I win, that's fine.
So there we go. We can see our track marshals all getting back into their positions. We're just waiting for our track manager Toby to make it back up to the tower, and then we should be good to go. Just a little bit more oil left in the middle of the circuit in front of the judging tower. And while we get this moment, let's take a second to say a thank you to our sponsors: Hill Performance, Tarmac Sports, Corbo Seats, Competition Clutch, Simpson Race Products, Samco Sports, M-Tech Brakes, OBP Motorsport, Yellow Speed and Slide Motorsport, and Excite Energy. Yeah, let's go down. We've got our man Matt House on the ground, having a look what's going on and having a word with our start line Marshall Malks.
Yeah, well, that's it. We had a lovely little chat last round, and it's very nice interviewing you. But you've got a little bit of a personal thing here, being an oval. You want to have a little chat about saving the ovals?
Yeah, I don't know if people realise, drifting has got a lot to thank the ovals for, and the ovals obviously vice versa, because when we first started drifting in this country around 2-3, 2-4 properly, the first 2 main events we done pre-BDC were Birmingham Wheels and Northampton. So drifting has been on the ovals. Obviously it's great income for the stadiums. As we're getting more and more, let's say politely, noise issues from people that move next to a stock car track that's been here since about 1956, and then try and get them shut down. So what we want to do is we're trying to raise awareness and get people, even the drifters, jump onto the social media, Facebook, have a look for Save Our Ovals, and we've lost Wimbledon, which we've drifted at, and bless him, Martin Chivers tried to destroy. And then on top of that, we've also lost others, Bellevue, which we don't necessarily drift at, but ovals are a big part of the country. So all the stock car fans, and especially special people like this, the owner here, he's an independent. I'm talking, do you mind? Thank you. So so basically speaking, what we're trying to do, we're trying to save the ovals, and drifting will carry on at the ovals. It's great income, and if you're drifters, if you want to come and watch some stock car racing, these sort of places are fantastic. So mix and match.
Well, that's it. We've got to save these tracks and keep them going. If we don't get behind the tracks that we're using, then we're going to have no tracks left. As you say, noise is a massive, obviously,
Well, it's not just us. I mean, there's Lyddon Hill. We drift on Lyddon Hill, and they have noise issues. Brands Hatch, we do a little bit there. Someone's like Brands Hatch. They tried to close Brands Hatch down, if you can believe that. And it's just the way it's going. But ovals like this one, and Kings Lynn, where we are, and all the rest of them, the best we can do is visit the stadiums and support them. Like I say, get on social media and have a look, and that will help us no end.
Perfect. Well, that's it. So save our ovals, save your tracks, get behind all your local tracks and all your local organisations. Back to the tower.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, so there we go. A little plea from our start line Marshall Malks to help save tracks that we're losing one after the other in the UK.
Absolutely, very, very good point there from Malk. So get on there and have a little look and save UK Motorsport.
Yeah, exactly, save UK Motorsport. So there we go, we just sent Mike Lardner out and Stephen McConnell for a quick run around the track, just to knock the top off that dust, and just get a little feeling for how slippery it can be in some of those areas. And once we get Stephen McConnell back to the start line, we will be ready to carry on with the action. I'm sorry for the delay from the oil spill. It's not my fault. I didn't do it, Sarah.
It's not, but thank you for politely apologising.
I'm a very polite guy. I like to apologise. I like to say sorry. Just like a good friend, Matt Denham, who we haven't seen in the BDC for a very long time. We'd like to see the return of Matt Denham. So, well, there we go, off the line. Let's hope we can get a clean battle right now as Stephen McConnell fires in against Mike Lardner. You can see Lardner way down the track there, looking like he's struggling to get that car to break traction. Oh, and again a big problem for Mike Lardner. McConnell looking dominant out front right now as he comes around the back end of the circuit. Mike Lardner really struggling with that car this weekend. Like you mentioned earlier, just one practice run in the wet and then thrown straight into dry conditions, and that car just really not playing ball as Mike Lardner tries to rein in what is left in this battle against Stephen McConnell. Stephen McConnell, though, looking very consistent as Mike Lardner avoids contact with the back end of McConnell's BMW. And to the finish line they go.
Brilliant effort from Mike Lardner there, but I think Stephen McConnell's just the stronger contender in that one.
I'm going to say that there was a lot of opposite drifting from Mike Lardner, and I know the judges are very, very strict on opposite drifting, and I'm pretty sure that could be a 10-0 against Mike Lardner. So, but don't go on what I say, because 99.9% of the time I'm wrong.
Oh, not that much.
Yeah.
Not quite that much, surely.
Yeah, just 0.1% I'm right. 0.000.
Still more than me, so it's fair enough.
So there we go, thumbs up all round now. Lardner to lead, and Stephen McConnell to give chase as they come through the dust and fire up into outside zone 1. And now McConnell way down the bank as Mike Lardner, you can see him, kicks up a little bit of dust in the face of Stephen McConnell, and that car just not playing ball for Mike Lardner, and you can see it, straight line handbrake initiation into that outside zone there. Judges once again will be knocking him down. Just looks like that car needs some TLC in the off-season from Mike Lardner. A big separation opened up though. But Stephen McConnell playing a very sensible game, sticking to that qualifying line, doing exactly what the judges asked for him to do, and not an inactive chase, as you can see him enter the roundabout before Mike Lardner exits. And I think that could be job done for Stephen McConnell right there.
Yeah, I think you could be right, Ian. I mean, he probably was playing a safe game there, partly to give Mike Lardner some space, I would think, because his run was not as neat and tidy as Stephen McConnell. So I think he was probably just giving him a bit of room to manoeuvre, and like you say, just trying to put a good qualifying line in, and hopefully he'll take that point away. Yeah,
exactly that. So you can see there, decisions inside him, left for Stephen McConnell, right for Mike Lardner, and there we go, unanimous. Stephen McConnell getting the win and advancing through to the top 16. No need to go to the judges. Very scrappy lead and chase from Mike Lardner means he is out of competition for the final time this year.
Yeah, unfortunately so for Mike Lardner, but he brought the fight as much as he could tonight. You know, he's had a few car issues and unfortunately it just didn't go his way.
I think the equipment let him down, Sarah. Yeah. I think this is a time when you can blame the car.
Fair enough. We'll give him that.
We'll give him that. He's a nice guy as well. Very friendly giant, is it? He is.
I haven't had a chat with him yet.
He's a friendly giant. Up next, the next battle. Well, this one's going to be a very, very good one. Ian Rutherford to take on Maciek Blazewski. Blazewski not looking on form, but the OG, the veteran from the UK drifting, Ian Rutherford, well, he is looking strong. He is looking on form. Can Maciek, can he take him down, or will the experience from Rutherford overturn it? They are on the line and ready to go. Thumbs up all around from our drivers and thumbs up in the start line. As you can see, lights on, let's go, here we are. Rutherford to lead, Maciek to give chase. And straight away some separation opens up. Maciek way down on the bank, you can see him shallow angle trying to nudge the front end of that F14 onto the door of Ian Rutherford. Oh, but an opposite drift transition from Maciek is going to really hurt this score as Ian Rutherford looks cool, calm and collected, flying past the judging tower as he sets himself up nicely to get deep into that final outside zone and that perfect wall run. But look at this, Maciek back into it, but so shall, oh, and he straightens and shuts it down, lost in the smoke. Another driver falling foul to the smoke screen thrown up by that lead car.
Yeah, I think Maciek's probably just feeling the pressure there against Ian. Like you say, he's the OG of drifting, isn't he? So he's got so much experience and seat time behind him that he's really consistent and really confident as a driver, and I think that's probably put Maciek on edge a little bit.
Yeah, I think it did put Maciek on edge. I think you're 100% right there, Sarah. And you know what, the smoke, Maciek was panicking. He opposite drifted as he come, in front of the judging tower down towards the back end of the circuit. Judges, as I mentioned in the other battle, not liking opposite drifting, saying that is a big fat no, that is a 0. So could Ian Rutherford be sitting with a 10-0 advantage? Well, who knows? They're off the line, and it will be Maciek now to lead out Rutherford. And Maciek needs to do everything he can in his power to try and overturn any kind of deficit that he has. Rutherford staying in the shadow. Oh, and a big spin! And a big spin. And how did Ian Rutherford kick that car at the wall?
I don't know if he actually
look at that.
The wall there, or he managed to just stop. I think he managed to just
I don't even think he touched it. Yeah. I think that such good driving there. Yeah, look at that. And you know what, Maciek getting it very, very wrong. I said in practice that he wasn't having a good weekend.
No, he wasn't looking like the Maciek that we're used to seeing. Really, there's something unsettled in this weekend. Ian Rutherford there, I was just about to say, Ian wasn't really keeping the pace with him, but I think he was playing safe and giving him some room, because clearly it was the right decision to make.
Yeah, there we go, slide him left for Rutherford, right for Kluszewski, and there we go, Rutherford takes the win and advances through, and again, no need to go to the judges. And a spin from Kluszewski, knocking himself out of battle, and incredible stuff here. And who knows what could happen for the rest of the evening, because I have no clue right now as we see the next battle pulling onto the circuit and lining up. It will be Jamie Stanton to take on Bradley Wallbank. And Brad Wallbank having issues with that car in the first qualifying run. Or can he make it work? Look at this, a BMW E36 1JZ 300 horsepower, BMW E36 M50 Turbo 300 horsepower, battle of the BMWs. Battle of the two different engines there, though. We get the thumbs up all round, and it will be Map Motorsport's very own Jamie Stanton to lead and Brad Wallbank to give chase. Wallbank right now has just got to hope that car can put 2 passes of the circuit in.
This is it. He's going to be fingers crossed for all of that, isn't he?
So there we go, off the line. And Jamie Stanton going to be leading. Oh, very tentative initiation there from Jamie Stanton, but very technical, as you can see, nice and high up onto the bank. Wallbank very low, throws a little bit more angle at it than the lead car, and that's slowed him down massively. And you can see Stanton on an absolutely perfect qualifying line so far, as he gets himself nicely round the back part of the circuit, nice and close to that front clipping point, and now starts to pull away, now starts to leave Brad Wallbank hanging in the distance as he sets that car up onto the wall. Little dab of the left foot brake to get that car up onto that high outside zone as Jamie Stanton gets himself down into the roundabout, takes a glance across to look for Wallbank. He's nowhere to be seen, puts the foot down and drives away.
I love what a technical driver Jamie Stanton is. He's really entertaining to watch, because he's not kind of throwing it about the place too much. He's technical, he's calculated, he's getting the car where it needs to be.
And I tell you what, something that we've learned this year is that those drivers that are very technical and calm and collected, like Louis Edwards, they do well, and they end up on the podium. This could be Jamie Stanton's weekend to shine. They pull back to the line, Wallbank to lead now, and Stanton to give chase. Stanton will be told on the radio from the spotters, just keep your cool, give him a little bit of room to manoeuvre. He's not the tidiest lead driver. And Wallbank now just trying to massage that car around the track. And look at this from Jamie Stanton. Oh, Stanton almost knocks himself out of the battle. Comes in way too hot on the left foot brake. Has to back out of it. Very good driving there from Jamie Stanton as he balances that car on a foot brake perfectly behind Brad Wallbank. Gives himself some room to manoeuvre, rethinks the situation. Now Jamie Stanton starts to rein in Brad Wallbank as they get back up onto the wall once again. Now Stanton starts to make the dive, starts to rein in Brad Wallbank. Wallbank looks like that car is finally working for him as they come down into the roundabout. This is where Stanton will make the dive, and he certainly does. Up onto the door he goes as he pushes Wallbank around the roundabout and across the line.
Jamie Stanton there really bringing it in on that door. I mean, there's a couple of times there I thought, no, he's lost that.
How?
That was the wrong move, and he managed to hold it.
How did he save that?
I don't know. I've no idea.
Well, there we go. Decision is in. Left for Stanton, right for Wallbank. And there we go. Jamie Stanton gets the win. Jamie Stanton gets the win. We quickly throw it back to the judges. Judges, talk us through that one.
Yeah, that's right, Ian. It was a pretty scrappy lead run there from Brad, just coming back into drifting again. Jamie had to be careful to balance the car on the left foot braking as he ran into him. We had a 7-3 advantage to Jamie on the first run, and then a 6-4 advantage on the second. So Jamie takes the win.
Well, there we go. Jamie Stanton getting the win, Sarah, and advancing through.
Absolutely, and just a quick shout out, because I promised I would. Jamie Stanton, sponsored by Mapped Motorsport, M-A-P-T, Mapped Motorsport.
Yep.
Follow these guys on Instagram and Facebook, because I promised Paul from Mapped that I would give them a little shout out.
You're a sucker,
so there we go.
You're a sucker for
well,
that.
I just like, you know what?
He messaged me 5 times and I was like, leave it out.
Did you ignore him?
Leave it out, Paul.
I fell for it, haven't I? Fell for it.
So up on the line next, it will be Josh Payne to take on Stephen Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, the angry Irishman, sits on the line looking across at this very cool, calm and collected young gun making his way into the British Drift Championship this very round. Third in the Drift Cup seeded class means he gets a British Drift Championship Pro-Am licence. But can Fitzgerald take down the very calculated Josh Payne? Well, Fitzgerald will think that this is an easy battle, but maybe it's not. Who knows? Who knows what way this could go tonight? They come off the line. Fitzgerald giving Josh Payne some room to work. Josh Payne nice and deep into the outside zone now. Fitzgerald massaging the car up onto the side of that BMW. You can see Fitzgerald, very, very good chase driver. Oh, but a big straighten from Fitzgerald in the middle of the circuit. But Josh Payne on that wrong line on the inside of the circuit. That's going to hurt him. The judge is going to be looking at that bad line to chase. And Stephen Fitzgerald now once again starts to hunt down the back end, but once again another straighten from Fitzgerald. This is very scrappy from the Irishman. All that power and all that grip, just too much to handle right now as he transitions onto the back bumper and into the roundabout they go as Fitzgerald takes a glance down the side of that BMW and across the finish line.
That one's a hard one to call for me there. Stephen Fitzgerald not looking as strong as we've seen him in the last round, but it's anybody's game. Wasn't a perfect run.
I just think that Fitzgerald struggled. Yeah, look, Josh Payne, nice beginning to the run, but then he kind of threw it away when he transitioned through the centre of the circuit. He scrubbed too much speed, he got himself on the inside of the track. Judges will be looking at that, be a bad line for Stephen Fitzgerald to chase. But nevertheless, Fitzgerald made 2 big straightens, 2 big errors there. So the judges will be taking a look at that one. Fitzgerald down on the second half of this one is going to just try and drive away. I can guarantee it. He's going to use the power in the car to try and escape.
From what I've seen from Fitzgerald before, I think you're probably going to be right there.
So there we go, firing it in, but look at Josh Payne. He knows the games that Stephen Fitzgerald wants to play right now and keeps with him, nudging it in, shallow angle, up onto the door goes Josh Payne. Look at it at a big dive. Oh, and he gets it wrong. Big understeer from Josh Payne in the middle of the circuit as he throws away half of the battle. Fitzgerald stands on the accelerator in front of the judging tower, but Josh Payne now starts to come back, starts to bring the fight back to the Irishman as he gets back into the outer zone for one more time. Josh Payne back onto the side of that S15 as he makes another dive up onto the door. They get into the roundabout. Josh Payne is door on door with Stephen Fitzgerald across the line.
Well, we said we were going to give them some action. I think we were coming true on our promise there. That was
incredible.
Not perfect for him either, but
no, but
wow.
Nevertheless, what a
Brilliant
battle.
to
Look
watch.
at this. So looks like the judges wanted to see a replay of this one from both of these guys. Oh, he's very shallow there. Yeah, look, judges saying that Josh Payne failed to initiate and he was driving around the first half of the circuit there. So judges will take a look at that dive. Look at that. How he avoided the wall. A big moment of understeer there from Josh Payne. Could that be it? Could that be the nail in the coffin there for Josh Payne? But you know what, I'll tell you something right now. If it is and he gets knocked out here in top 32, that is a man that everyone's going to know his name by the end of this weekend. They're going to keep an eye on him because 2020, I think he's going to come in swinging.
Definitely. I mean, look what he's doing so far, and he's made a name for himself. I mean, even though that wasn't a perfect run, he's drawing the attention.
But there we go, look at that. Stephen Fitzgerald takes the win and advances through to the top 16. Judges, just quickly back to you. Big understeer, big mistakes from Josh Payne.
Yeah, that's right. Josh Payne having a massive error in the centre of the track. We just wanted to make sure that it wasn't caused by Stephen Fitzgerald initiating, but with an underpowered car and not being able to do the drift and link the track, he obviously nearly ran into the back of him, so that was enough to give the win to Stephen as well.
So there we go. Stephen Fitzgerald moves on to the top 16, and we move it along to the next battle, and it will be Mark Chapman to take on Paddy Byrne. Well, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, you can only see one car on a start line. That means that the team legless driver Paddy Byrne failed to get that car repaired and back out for competition. You know what? Massive shout out to Paddy Byrne and all of his crew for even trying to get that car fixed. What a guy! What a guy!
There was a lot of damage there, and unfortunately, it's not got been repairable for him. I can well imagine they've been in the pits working away there, desperately trying to get that car back out, and unfortunately, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, so a massive shout out there to Paddy Byrne and his crew for even trying to get that car back out.
Awesome crew.
Yeah, can't wait to see him back for 2020. And nevertheless, Mark Chapman will get a bye and will advance through to the top 16. And I tell you what, these Team Matt Motorsport drivers, they're coming into 2019 with a bang, that's for sure.
I know, that's it. I mean, that little shout out I just did there, you better have a Google. Have a Facebook or an Instagram search of Matt Motorsport.
They're paying
these two, they're not, however... My car's a bit, it could do with a bit of TLC.
Could it?
Guys, if you're listening, just saying.
Well, there you go. They might paint it a funky colour. They're renowned for painting their cars.
Oh no, my car's already a funky colour.
Silly colours.
Limited edition, man,
Is it a Corsa?
It's not a Corsa.
What is it?
It's an MGZ TV6. Bright green, never mind that.
I don't
leave my Grandad Rover alone, it's awesome.
So there we go, Mark Chapman advances through to the top 16, and we move it along to the next battle, and it will be Will Gibbs to take on Danny McGuire, the man who apparently is scared of frogs.
He is scared of frogs. He's scared of frogs.
How? I don't even know.
I've never seen a guy so hench jump so high.
So there we go, Will Gibbs fires it in, Danny McGuire left standing a little bit there, but looked like maybe a misshift off the start line for Will Gibbs. Gibbs fires the hammer to the floor though and starts to drive away from Danny McGuire. McGuire cuts the circuit, sacrificing climbing points to try and gain some proximity on Will Gibbs, but Gibbs once again begins to pull a bit of a lead here against Danny McGuire as he fires into that outside zone. A shallow from Will Gibbs, doesn't get all the way up to the wall as he sets himself up nicely for an entrance into the roundabout. Danny McGuire finds inside that BMW. Oh, but Will Gibbs mischiefs and McGuire almost makes big impact.
Well done for avoiding that there. Did he straighten up through? I couldn't quite see through the smoke there. I think he just had a straighten up,
I think he had a big straighten up, yeah. I think Will Gibbs maybe misshifted there, and Danny McGuire did very, very well not to really have a big hit.
So shall I tell you the frog story while they're lining back up?
No, let's keep everyone waiting. We'll keep that one a secret. For the Need to Know crew, back on the line, it will be Will Gibbs now to chase down Danny McGuire. Well, Danny McGuire, does he think he's got the gifted win in this one? I'll tell you what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and pull leaps and bounds away from Will Gibbs. But Will Gibbs is not going to go down without a fight right now. Look at this. As he shallows up the angle, drops down the circuit to stay with Danny McGuire. As Danny McGuire beats the rev limiter through the middle of the track. Gibbs coming in very hot as he fires it almost 90 degrees to the wall. And up onto the door of Danny McGuire goes Will Gibbs. Nudging onto the side goes Will Gibbs. As he's not going down without a fight right now. McGuire up onto the wall. And Gibbs back into it. You can see him dropping away from the outer zone just to get proximity, but a big mistake. A big mistake from Will Gibbs as they enter the roundabout. Gibbs, and Gibbs over-rotates before the line.
I really thought that run was possibly going to make up for that straighten up in his first when he was in the lead, but unfortunately not. That roundabout's just caught him out twice in a row.
Wow. Incredible. Well, look at this. Decisions in, left for Gibbs, right for McGuire. And there we go. Danny McGuire getting the win and over rotation. We'll go back to my favourite saying, Sarah, spinning's not winning.
Absolutely right. Danny McGuire will be very, very pleased with that.
So there we go. Danny McGuire gets the win and advances through to the top 16. That's one half of the bracket done, just like that quick. Done and dusted,
that
finished.
Did seem quick.
Top 16 settled for that side of the bracket. We move it along to the other side of our top 32 bracket, and the first battle will be, well, it'll be a bye run, because Martin Cowley, he qualified in second place and there was no contender.
This is just interesting, isn't it, you see?
Well, I tell you what, it's not for Josh King, because he's probably thinking, of all the people to get by runs, of all the people to get by runs, why did it have to be the top 3 drivers?
That is just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Certainly is. Yeah, and it could be the fate of Josh King could be decided by the fact that, you know, guys didn't qualify, and that could be the story of the weekend. You can see there Martin Cowley doing a run through of the start line.
Yeah.
So Martin Cowley will do a by run, make a clean pass of the circuit. And Martin Cowley, who I said didn't even look very good in practice, didn't look strong at all, came out swinging in qualifying.
He absolutely did.
He got himself way up the order. And Cowley will be taking this as a blessing right now as he finishes up his run.
I think we kind of forget how good Martin Cowley is. He kind of, I think I said this earlier, he kind of sneaks around in the background, doing his thing, being a bit consistent, not having amazing scores every round, and then he just kind of throws it on through there. He goes, don't forget about me, look what I can do.
Battles is where Cowley comes alive.
Yeah, he does absolutely.
So Martin Cowley there just do his by run. He will make his way back off the circuit, and he advances through to the top 16, and we move it along to the next battle, which will be an interesting one, Sarah, because this man, well, he crashed his car epically in practice.
The back of it is pretty much duct tape.
It's all duct tape.
Entirely.
The whole car is duct tape, and he goes against a guy who hasn't got a whole lot of power, but Ignis Manilga, nevertheless, he finished 4th at the final round of the British Drift Championship in Wigan. And Andy Sykes will know that. Andy Sykes will know that he can push 100% against Ignis Manilga.
Absolutely, and Sykes has been looking decent today, but he has had a few little hiccups. He's ripped the spoiler off his car, I think in more than 3 pieces on 3 different occasions. So
well, there's still some left.
There's a little bit left.
And apparently if he doesn't take it all off, he's buying the drinks.
Well, I'm parked next to these guys, so that sounds like a good deal to me.
Sounds good to you.
Yeah.
So there we go, you can see that Willie Hanna has turned his car into a UFO for the weekend.
It's a disco.
It's a Disco Hanna, that's what we call him.
Oh, I like that.
Disco Hanna.
Could be his new handle for Instagram.
Well, that battle right there is going to be an interesting one, and we'll get to that in a minute. But let's get to the battle up next. It will be Ignis Manilga to take on Andy Sykes, and there we go. Look at that, the battered and bruised 300 ZX of Ignis Manilga, 600 horsepower to take on a little SR20, just 400 horsepower in Andy Sykes. And Ignis Manilga, that car, as we mentioned, suffering serious impact with the wall in practice. And Manilga, he only got that one practice run, and then he only got his qualifying runs. So he is down on seat time compared to Sykes.
Yes, that is absolutely true as well. But, you know, Sykes, he's really pushing it. Like I say, he's took the spoiler off the back of the car, so you can see he's pushing it. He's willing to take it to the wall.
Yeah, look at that on the radio to his spotters, and they're saying to him, well, look, we don't know. We don't know what this guy's like. He has only done 2 runs. And
yeah, he's a bit unknown entity, isn't he?
He is an unknown entity right now. So they come off the line. It will be Ignis Manilga to lead out Andy Sykes. And Andy Sykes already holding back. Oh, Ignis Manilga tags the wall and upsets the car straight away. Has to shut it down. Indicators on. Oh, and Ignis Manilga suffering some serious issues and lets Andy Sykes by. As Andy Sykes will now try and complete his run. Wow. I'd like to see a replay of that. It looked like only a little tag on the wall, so not sure what happened.
I wasn't even sure that he touched the wall at all, but, you know, maybe I missed that.
Yeah, I'm sure he tagged the wall because it looked like the front of the car just got upset on the balance when the back end touched the wall.
Yeah, I just thought he shut it down, but obviously I maybe missed it there.
So there you go, Andy Sykes finishes up that run and we'll head back to the start line. And can Ignis Manilga, well, it does, can Ignis Manilga's car even make another pass of the circuit? Has he got serious problems? Did he hit the wheel? Did he break a drive shaft? That'll be the question that the judges, or what the start line marshals will be asking.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he might even have some issues from earlier on.
Yeah, certainly so. So it looks like the door is open. He's going to have a word with the start line marshal. So it doesn't look good. Manilga shaking his head and giving our start line marshal Malks the look to say, I think the car's done. I don't know if it's got any more in it. So just having a word, he's going to relay the information to Toby, who's standing right next to us in the tower, and Toby's going to tell us.
He's got all the inside info, hasn't he, Toby?
So we get a 5-minute rule called by Ignis Manilga. So 5-minute rule called by Ignis Manilga, and Andy Sykes will now have to park up and sit on the sidelines and wait to see if he'll be gifted a spot in the top 16 to take on Martin Cowley, none other than Martin Cowley.
I'm not sure which result he'll want out of that, to be honest.
He'll take the bye through to the top 16, that's for sure. Well, that means that we get this battle underway, and this one is a big one for the championship right now. Making their way round the back of the circuit to the start line, it will be Josh King to take on William Hanna, and this is huge. This early on is huge.
Yeah, I mean, this battle alone could almost seal the fate.
It's that big. I fell off my seat.
He's actually just fallen off his chair.
I nearly fell out the tower.
Yeah, don't, because there is actually a gap there. Don't fall out. We need one of those like bungee cords attached to us or something so we don't fall out.
So there we go.
Yeah,
these two guys.
This could decide.
Well, look, Willie Hanna knows that if he takes down Josh King right now, he can open the championship up for Cowley or Cunningham or Louis Edwards. Louis Edwards also has a bye run into the top 16. The whole campaign, the whole season for Josh King comes down to this moment. They sit on the line ready to go. I haven't asked Buxton to make any noise so far.
No, you haven't actually.
I'm going to do it right now because I think they're ready. I think everyone's a little bit cold and I think everyone's ready to go. Buxton, make some noise!
That is not bad.
Toby, let's get this one underway. This is for the championship. Can Josh King continue the run? Can he fight his way through to the podium, or will Willie Hanna stop him dead in his tracks? Startline Marshall Melks goes over to have a quick chat in Willie Hanna's ear and he says, are you ready for this? Are you ready to put this on the door? Oh, they're getting turned around. Yeah, they're in the wrong order. Look at that.
Dear.
All that hype. And then
we got too excited, didn't we?
So there we go, we swap them around. It will be Josh King to lead out Willie Hanna. And they sit on the line. Look at that, the focus in Josh King's face. He knows his whole season comes down to this. But they're off the line. King to lead, Willie Hanna to give chase, and look at Willie Hanna, early initiation from oh no! Josh King fails to initiate. Willie Hanna fires in, keeps his cool as he damps the foot brake. Now gives Josh King some room to manoeuvre. They come through the centre of the circuit. Josh King absolutely flying, and so is Willie Hanna as he starts to rein in the current points leader. Josh King 6 foot to floor, but Willie Hanna picks up clipping points left, right and centre as he tries to rein back in onto the side of Josh King's E36 BMW. King fires down into the roundabout as Willie Hanna balances that car on the foot brake. The bumper comes off of Willie Hanna's car, but he stays in it as they finish up the run.
Have we finally shook Josh King? Is he a little bit unsettled for once?
I think that could be it. I think that could kind of be what broke Josh King.
We always say anything can happen. Anything can really happen. I think he must be feeling a little bit of pressure now because he knows what this battle means. Everything is riding on this right now. It's going to make the decision, isn't it?
Look, that was a big error from Josh King.
Yeah, and not like him either. So I think it is got to be pressure.
So uncharacteristic of Josh King, and you could see him pressing the button on the side of his helmet, talking to his spotters, and they said to him, I don't know. There was big separation, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that mistake you made when you initiated was enough. And look at Josh King, he's sitting there, he's thinking the whole year has come down to this, and Willie Hanna's been on the top step of the podium. He's beat the best in this championship, and he knows what it takes. Can he pull it out of the bag one more time, or can Josh King just find something? Can he rely on that setup? Can he rely on those tyres to stick it to the door of Willie Hanna's car? As Willie Hanna gets the front end of that car assessed by our start line marshal, taking down a clipping point on that inner clipping point. Well, there he goes, he's ready to rock and roll. Willie Hanna sits on the line. Willie Hanna to lead, Josh King to give chase. They get the thumbs up now, good to go. Hanna to lead, King to give chase right now, and Josh King drag races Willie Hanna into that first turn, and Willie Hanna fires it up deep into the outside zone. Can Josh King keep a hold of it? He certainly can, but he's getting lost in the smoke now as Willie Hanna comes absolutely flying for the middle of the circuit. But look at Josh King, onto the door he goes! Onto the door goes Josh King. He is wheel to wheel with Willie Hanna. He gives him some room to manoeuvre on the transition as Willie Hanna flies past the judging tower. Now King almost comes in 90 degrees to the wall, but he has to correct massively to avoid contact with the side of Willie Hanna's car. Hanna still flying foot plant as he drops a wheel over the edge of the track. Josh King gives him more room to manoeuvre and gives him the room. Oh, but Josh King shuts it down before the line. Wow.
We've got no words left, have we, Ian, now? That was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Like, that was the Josh King that we're used to seeing. That is why he's at the top of the championship. And all of a sudden, he shuts it down right at the end. What happened?
I don't even know.
I don't
even know right now. I think I know, but I don't even think I know.
There's logic in there somewhere.
There's no logic in there whatsoever. Well, judges deliberating this one, talking amongst themselves. Who thinks Josh King got the win?
Oh, that's a strong vote.
That's a strong vote. Who thinks Willie Hanna got the win? Wow.
Whoa. Not much between that.
Can I just say something?
Go on.
I've got to talk for 3 days, and those two guys just broke my voice in the top 32. I don't even know how I'm going to make it through. Look at that big error from Josh King on initiation. Could that be it? Could that be the end of it?
It could well be, but the proximity he had down.
Ladies and gentlemen, as they're out of the car, show your appreciation for Josh King and Willie Hanna. Judges deliberating this one, going back through the replays. I'm nervous for Josh King.
I am, because this isn't just a random battle that doesn't matter.
No, this is it. This matters for him.
Yeah.
Every single.
This is ultimate now.
Judges taking a look at the replay. You can see Willie Hanna dropping a wheel over the edge of the circuit there. Keeps it tidy though, but this is where it all went wrong for Josh King. Look at this. Completely stops drifting. Oh, wow.
I wonder why. Again, is there a mechanical...
Is there an issue with that car? Well, decision's in. Slide them left for King, right for Willie Hanna. Oh, Willie Hanna gets the win! Willie Hanna gets the win. Judges, we need to go back to you. Big mistakes from Josh King.
Yeah, you're right, Ian. A lot of mistakes from Josh. He had 2 sketchy initiations, both in the lead and the chase run. Had a fantastic chase against Willie, but then shuts it down off the roundabout. And these errors weren't enough to overcome the points that Willie had got in the previous run. So obviously Willie takes the lead.
Wow, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So Willie Hanna gets the win, advances through.
Wow.
I don't even know what that is going to be doing to the championship.
Yeah, what does that mean now? I mean,
so I'll tell you what we'll do. We won't surmise.
No.
We'll let the nerds in the van work that one out, and we'll just continue going as we move it along. Charlie Hume to take on Chris Parnham. I just don't even know.
No, who knows?
It's still only top 32.
It's crazy out there now.
So Charlie Hume off the line to lead out Chris Parnham, and Hume, if you remember rightly, rocked this Pro-Am Championship at Birmingham. Can he do it again as he fires nice and deep into outside zone 1? But look at this, Chris Parnham finding the side of that little S13 as Parnham sticks that S14.5 on the side of Hume's car. Good transition in the middle of the circuit there for Charlie Hume as he sacrificed that outside zone. You can see him dab the foot brake, getting the nose of that car bang on that front clipping point, and doing an absolutely sterling job right now as Charlie Hume, as he starts to pull some ground between him and Chris Parnham. Parnham just can't find the pace in that car to put it on the door and to find that proximity. They transition into the roundabout right now, and Parnham slows that car down as Hume sticks it to the wall and across the line.
So we've just got a little bit of information from what
Sarah.
You keep calling them. Is it the nerds you keep calling them? They're going to start getting annoyed at that.
I don't want to offend them, but that's what I'm calling them. Just for fun.
Nerds.
Just for fun.
So, are you trying to do my accent now?
I thought you said saw. You want a wood saw?
No.
Oh, right.
I'll start doing your accent, but it won't sound very good, to be fair. Nobody
likes
that.
my accent.
Looking at the points, they've just done some quick calculations.
Yep.
Josh can't stay on top of the championship.
Oh,
it's too late.
Wow. So the championship could be over for Josh King right now.
It looks as though that is the case.
Wow.
That's
Well, we'll keep you up to date with that.
I'm stumped, but yeah, we'll double check
We'll keep you up to date with that. Yeah, we're going to keep going though, and up next will be Chris Parnham now to lead in Charlie Hume for a spot in the top 16. Charlie Hume was an absolute master at chase driving in Birmingham. Can he replicate that as he shallows up the angle into the outer zone, trying to find a side of Chris Parnham's S14.5? They come down through the middle of the circuit, the fastest part of the track, and you can see Charlie Hume balancing that car on the handbrake and foot brake. Such a good technical chase driver, as he gives Parnham a little bit of room to manoeuvre. Parnham fires it at the wall, and a good fast transition in front of the judging tower, back up to the wall. Parnham goes again, but look at this, Charlie Hume not even lost, stays in it, shallows up the angle and just gives Parnham the room to manoeuvre as he looks for the side of that S14 one more time, makes a dive up into the door, and Charlie Hume goes wheel to wheel across the finish line with Chris Parnham.
Fantastic effort from Parnham, but I just think Charlie Hume just shines in those two battles for me. I'm impressed with his confidence in his driving. His chase runs are brilliant.
Well, it was a quick decision from the judges. Look at that. Charlie Hume, ladies and gentlemen, getting the win and advancing through. Judges, we just quickly throw it back to you.
Yeah, Charlie putting on real strong lead there. Chris doing his best, but not really pushing there, bringing the fight. When they switch it round, Chris, reasonable line, not as strong as Charlie's. Charlie, sticking with him, managing to deal with a couple of Chris's mistakes there, nice and well, which, giving Charlie the win overall.
So there we go, Charlie Hume getting the win, advancing through, and looking very, very strong. We move it along to the next battle. Well, it's not even a battle.
Not really.
It's a bye run for Louis Edwards. So Louis Edwards gets a bye run through into the top 16. Oh, it looks like we're going to go back to the 5-minute rule, actually, of Igis Manilga to take on Andy Sykes. So we just confused everybody in the tower. Everybody in the tower is completely confused. So Igis Manilga pulls back to the line after that 5-minute rule. Andy Sykes now to lead, and Manilga to give chase. If you remember correctly, Manilga, a little bit of contact with the wall, upset the balance of the car and forced himself into a straight, and so it looks like Andy Sykes could be gifted. Oh, and now Andy Sykes fails to initiate and has to get himself back into it. Oh, and Igis Manilga falls off. Clutch kicks that 300 ZX, but a little bit of separation opens up as Igis Manilga tries everything he can to regain some lost ground as Andy Sykes stays in it past the judging tower and back up onto the wall once again. And look at the ground lost by Igis Manilga as Andy Sykes keeps foot to floor, gets himself tidily into the roundabout. Igis Manilga sacrificing the line to try and gain that proximity, but you know what, I think it's too much. I think it's done. I think it's all over for Igis Manilga.
I think that's decided, but I mean, do you know what, good on him. I mean, he has literally battled through everything just to get out on track today, so he's given it all he's got.
So there we go, decisions in. Sodom left foot and Manilga right for Sykes. Andy Sykes, ladies and gentlemen, gets the win. Andy Sykes gets the win, and of course a 10-0 advantage to Andy Sykes in the first half of the run gets him the win, and there we go, Sykes will take that one, that's for sure. Huge shout out to Igis Manilga though for getting that car fixed and back up twice.
I mean, amazing. Yeah, twice as well, amazing.
Not an easy task. When we go back to this one, well, it will be Louis Edwards not to take on Igis Manilga.
No,
it will be a bye run, a little bit error. Yeah, so it will be a bye run for Louis Edwards.
I've got a little request from Louis Edwards, Drift fam.
Have you got that message as well?
I've got a little request, yeah. Shall we read it out?
You can do it.
Apparently, they know him affectionately as Lewington Farquhar II. I'm not sure where that comes from, but I like it. It's interesting.
Like it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I like that name. So that's a little shout out to Louis' Drift fam, supporting him from afar this weekend.
So there we go, Louis Edwards will make his way round for a bye run. As I mentioned earlier on, I think from myself and everybody here at the British Drift Championship, we would like to send all of our well wishes to Heath Bamford, who had an accident earlier on this week, and I know he's a big supporter of Louis Edwards and all those guys.
Absolutely.
Spends a lot of time with Julie Robinson and all those guys, and I know they would be sending all their well wishes to Heath Bamford. We wish him all the best and hope to see him back on form in 2020 and back at a drift event. And you know what, I think the icing on the cake for Heath Bamford would be Louis Edwards taking the championship this weekend.
Absolutely, I'm sure that would cheer him up no end. I know he's been in quite a bad accident, so All the best wishes to Heath, and hopefully
he's
he makes
watching.
a quick recovery. I hope he is. I hope he's got
he's in hospital
the
watching.
live stream there where he is.
So yeah, we send you all of our well wishes, Heath, and we wish you all the best. And there we go. Louis Edwards completes his bye run. He advances himself into the top 16. And then we move it along to the next one. Get the thumbs up from our start line marshal, Toby. It will be a very, very good one. This one, there's a grudge match between these two guys as well.
I can't wait for this.
Luke Barker to take on Carl Farrar. It will be Nissan 350Z to take on Mazda RX-8. 600 horsepower to take on 500 horsepower. They're off the line, no messing around. And look at this. Farrar not messing around. He knows he can trust Barker, but Barker, again, late initiation. And Carl Farrar has to almost back out of it. Keeps himself on it, though, as Luke Barker keeps the foot down through the middle of the circuit. Carl Farrar doing a very good job of keeping with the back end of that 350Z as he's trying not to get lost in the smoke. They come past the judging tower and Farrar makes a big mistake there, almost a double transition. Oh, but Luke Barker makes even a bigger mistake and opposite drifts in to that outer zone. And Carl Farrar stays in it, and let's transition through the smoke. You see him balancing that car on the foot brake, trying not to make the same mistake that most drivers are making as Barker finishes up the run.
Well, I didn't quite expect that, to be honest. But this just shows you anything goes.
Anything goes.
Anything goes.
So there we go.
Going to be another interesting run.
Certainly is going to be an interesting run, yeah. And Luke Barker making a couple of errors there, a couple of fatal errors. And
yeah.
You know what, for me, Carl Farrar did a very, very good job of keeping that car balanced behind him, and not making any contact.
Yeah, I think he did. Like you see, he was close, but gave him just enough room to make his errors, which was quite clever of Carl.
Oh, Barker trying to repay the favour already as he fires up into the side of that Mazda RX-8. Now Barker's going to be looking for some redemption as Carl Farrar gets deep into the outside zone. Look at Barker up onto the side. They come through the centre of the circuit. Whoa! Wide goes Luke Barker, but he holds onto it as he takes cones down left, right and centre. Barker up onto the side of that Mazda RX-8 and very good proximity. Almost contact from Barker as Barker narrowly avoids the back end of that Mazda. Once again, Barker finds the side. Flames erupt from the Barker's car, left, right and centre as he transitions. Whoa! Wow! How did Luke Barker even make that transition as he touches wheels across the line?
Unbelievable. I mean, look at the front of his car now. He's definitely...
That is... I told you it was a grudge match. I told you it was a grudge match.
You were completely right. I mean, that proximity from Barker there was quite outstanding, but did he make too many errors to overturn the proximity out? This is what the judges will be looking at.
Wow, look at this. We're going to take a look at the replay. Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the fact that Barker failed to initiate, and Farrar fired that car in, and Barker made a couple of little errors here and there on his lead run. It wasn't the cleanest lead from Barker. Judges be looking at this one intently. They don't want to make the wrong decision. We got any Luke Barker fans in the house? We got any Carl Farrar fans in the house?
Yeah.
We got some of each. We got some of each. Well, judges looking at the replay, left, right, and centre, trying to work out. The aggression from Luke Barker was insane. How he made some of these transitions, I don't even know. Very good driving from the young man. Look at this, glued to the side. You can see him just shallow up the angle. Look at this. He goes very, very wide, but stays into it, gets onto the back bumper, and sees where he's made the mistake, lets the car wash and then jumps straight back on the throttle, gets on the door. It was this transition. Look at this.
I tell you what, I don't know.
How did he even?
But then he looked like he wobbled.
Big wobble. But then he gives Carl Farrar some room to move. He gets back up onto the side, and then watch this.
This transition, I don't know how he did not take the back of that car off.
Insane stuff.
He's got some amazing talent, that guy. Well, they both have, and this is quite a good match to see.
He hit him across the line. He hit him across the line. That was what it was.
There we go.
Look at this. Slide him left for Barker, right for Farrar. And Carl Farrar gets the win. Carl Farrar gets the win. Judges, we throw it to you. Some seriously good driving.
Yeah, some fantastic driving from both drivers, but Luke had a catalogue of errors. He had like a double initiation early, which then put him in the wrong position. He's then obviously had a straighten as well as we've come back on towards clips 7. So we gave the advantage to Carl on that. And then on the second one, just too aggressive. He was, as he cut himself off on the roundabout, and even if we went 5-5 on that, it was enough for Carl to take the win.
There you go.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Good explanation, thank you. Shame for either one of those to get knocked out there, because they both really deserve some good luck for once within this championship, but
exactly that. Well, we're moving it
enough.
along. Yeah, we've got to keep the action going. Up next it will be Damien Chopin to take on Ashley Jones, 500 horsepower. 1JZ to take on a 400 horsepower V8. Look, Chopin for me looks like he is on form.
Yeah, I mean, looking at him going round earlier, I mean, he did almost a technically perfect run, so hopefully he brings that to the battles as well, because that's what he's going to need.
So there we go. You can see on the line Chopin to lead and Ash Jones to give chase. Damien Chopin, very consistent, 2 very good consistent qualifying runs. As they come through the gears down, very late initiation there from Damien Chopin, just confuses Ash Jones ever so slightly. Now Ash Jones finds the pocket, and look at that, Ash Jones dives up onto the side of that E46 BMW, but he has to straighten in the middle of the circuit. As Ash Jones re-initiates, they come down into the outer zone. Chopin stays in it, Chopin looking confident as always. Now Ash Jones once again looks for the side of Damien Chopin's E46 BMW. Chopin playing his own game right now, keeping his mind free of the faults of Ash Jones, as Ash Jones goes to put a wheel onto the door, but he's going to trap himself out as Ash Jones shuts the door. And wow, that's going to be a tough one for the judges.
That's interesting. From the angle that we can see there, did he make contact which made Chopin straighten off and shut off? I couldn't quite tell.
I'll tell you what I thought.
Go on.
I'll tell you how I see it.
Yeah, go for it.
Damien Chopin couldn't transition into outer zone 24,000 because Ash Jones was all the way up the inside of him.
Yeah.
So the chase car impeded the lead car's line, which means the lead car gets the advantage. That's my personal opinion.
You could well be right. Let's see if the judges agree. But
look at this. Look,
that does make sense. That does make sense. It could be a possibility.
I think he impeded him ever so slightly, and it threw Damien Chopin off, and then that was in his mind. And then as they got into the roundabout, Damien Chopin see Ash Jones all the way up the inside and was like, "Where are you going, buddy?"
Interesting.
So we're looking for contact on Damien Chopin's car right now, and our start line marshal Malks will relay that information to our start line marshal, to our track manager, Toby. Insta famous Toby.
Insta famous. Is this because of all his pictures of fillet steaks?
Yep. Yeah, he cooked a really good dinner the other night. You missed it.
I saw the pictures of it. Yeah,
wow.
but yeah.
Too fancy for me, that's for sure. And there we go, back on the line. Ash Jones to lead, Damien Chopin to give chase. Who knows what happened in the first half of the battle? How the judges see this one? Oh wow! And Ash Jones.
He kind of just shut
that car down. Yeah, failed to initiate. They are going to get back into it. You can see Damien Chopin hold back massively there, giving Ash Jones the room to initiate and get that car going. Now Damien Chopin has to play the catch-up game, or will he try and stick to that qualifying line? Not sure what's going on right now with Ash Jones's car, but it hasn't wanted to play ball all weekend. As Damien Chopin sacrifices that line, deviates off the qualifying line to try and gain some proximity with Ash Jones. They make their way into the roundabout. There's a clean exit from both of them, but I am not really sure which way the judges are going to look at this.
Yeah, I've no idea. I think it's mainly going to come down to that first one, whether there was contact or not. So the judges are just going to have a little chat about the various aspects of those two battles and come to a decision. Definitely not one I can call. It's out of my pay grade, that.
It's way out of my pay grade. I just make stupid assumptions and everyone on the internet fries me. It's fine. I don't care though.
Well, if it's not you, it's me. It's all good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Look at this. Judges taking another look at this replay. Look, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. But then again, he does make the transition, but it is very late.
Yeah, tricky one.
Very tricky there for the judges.
I don't know. I really don't know on that one.
So there we go. They do have to come to a decision though. Just one more battle left in our top 32. It will be Stu Jones to take on Chris Wright, the brother of Ash Jones, up next in that crazy S14 V8 Turbo S14. And then we'll be kicking off top 16. I can't believe
we're at top 16 already.
Top 16 already.
And we haven't frozen solid.
That's because I decided that standing up and doing some little skit.
I keep dancing on the chair.
Everybody in the grandstands looking at me across the track saying, what is he up to?
Doing?
What is he up to? And this is me keeping warm.
I'm doing a little bop on the chair, trying to keep warm, just moving about a little bit.
Start like Marshall there, just doing a bop. Look at this. Judges still deliberating this decision. It's intense. Who's intense? Toby said everyone's intense.
I'm not sleeping in a tent.
Oh, we're in a tent. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, decision's in. Slide them left for Chopin, right for Jones. It's going to be a one more time. Judges, we need to ask you the question. What went down there?
Obviously, we're just trying to judge it on what you're watching as well. And on that first run, we don't know why Damien shut down on the roundabout. He initiated past the front of Ashley's car. He didn't have a wobble. There wasn't enough contact to cause Damien to have to shut down. He saw Ash on the inside of the roundabout, and then just so that's a 10-0 advantage to Ash the first run. On the second run, Ashley failed to initiate and then had an initiation past Cliff 1, so it was a 10-0 advantage to Damien. So therefore, it's 10-0, 10-0, and one more time.
There you go.
Fair enough.
And I was wrong.
Well,
didn't impede him.
I don't know. I kind of agree with you, but that's why we're not judges, isn't it?
Yeah, cool. I'll never be a judge. That's
we
for sure.
have been known to be wrong.
So there we go. We're going to let those guys go back to the pits, change tyres, check the cars. And they're going to go straight again. Toby says they're going straight at it.
Straight away.
Adrenaline's pumping. No messing around. They're going to get straight back to the line and get it underway.
They don't want to wait for this.
They don't want to wait for this. They just want to get this going. They want to get the business done. Somebody wants to go through to the top 16. Do you know what? If Ash Jones wins and Stu Jones wins, it'll be a Jones take on.
Oh, that'll be an interesting one.
That'll be dangerous. I suggest everyone, if that happens, steps back from the edge of the track, because
you don't want a brotherly rivalry on track, do you?
You certainly don't.
It's going to cause carnage.
So there we go. They pull back to the line. It will be Chopin to lead, Ashley Jones to give chase. We give the thumbs up all round. We are ready to go. Hopefully we get a clean run this time and no mistakes from either of these guys. Well, here we go. Can we get a winner on this half of the battle? Nice clean initiation from both these guys. Chopin no fouling to get all the way out to the outside zone. Ash Jones bringing that same... Oh! Ash Jones, big wobble there as he goes to make a dive up into the door. As Ash Jones now sacrificing that line once again, finds the side of the A46 BMW. He does have the pace to keep up with Damien Chopin. Come down past the big screen in front of the judging tower, and look at Ash Jones as he shallows up massively, trying to find the side of Chopin's car. Chopin staying in it, no mistakes this time from Damien Chopin as he gets into the roundabout. Ash Jones finds the side and almost makes contact as he tags the rear end of Damien Chopin's car across the line.
Some brilliant dives from Jones there, but I think Chopin was just possibly the stronger contender in that one. He was just a bit more neat and tidy. Let's see what happens now, though.
Ash Jones bringing some serious aggression. You can see him like the rear wheel, the tagging rear wheel on rear wheel, front wheel on rear wheel. Insane stuff there. And Ash Jones not scared to get himself in the mix, that's for sure. Not scared to put a tyre mark on the door or rub the bumper.
No, absolutely not. Bringing the action.
Oh, so Damien Chopin potentially asking our start line Marshall Mounts whether he needs tyres. Well, you can't change tyres in a battle, so if he does need them, it's tough. They're going to have to stay in the pits. Damien Chopin will have to compete on the tyres that are on the back of that car. Yeah, he's calling a 5-minute rule. So Damien Chopin calling a 5-minute rule. We can't get this one done, Sarah.
No,
we just cannot get this battle done.
This one's just never going to end, is it? But he's not allowed tyres then. So he's got to stick on what he's
so
on
Damien
now.
Chopin cannot. So the rule is that once you start a battle, you start the battle on those tyres and those tyre pressures. You cannot adjust tyre pressures or change tyres on your car unless you DB'd or get a puncture.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's fair, isn't it? But yeah, that's okay. All right.
Damien Chopin cannot change the tyres on the back of that car. So whatever is the issue, he's going to have to go back to the pits, resolve it. We do have a marshal that will follow him down
and make sure
he will. he does have a clock as well, so he will have a timer so we know exactly how much time Damien Chopin has got. And we will find out.
So when he battles, if he wins, if he goes through, is he then allowed to change tyres once he's finished this battle?
Yeah, once he's finished his battle, he can change the tyres as many times as he likes. But once you've started a battle, you have to finish that battle on those pair of tyres. So maybe Damien Chopin and Ash Jones, silly mistake. They should have gone back to the pits, got refueled, got new tyres, then come out for the one more time. Anyway, we move it along. Stu Jones now pulls to the line to take on Chris Wright. Will be 1 UZ turbo to take on V6 twin turbo. And Chris Wright not looking on form this weekend. Stu Jones flying this car, looking absolutely spot on. But Stu Jones, well, he's got the nickname Full Stew for a reason. That's because he either goes full stew or he goes nothing, no stew. So we'll see what happens here. Can Chris Wright? We've seen him do very, very well in the past, and he's another calculated driver. Thinks about everything he's doing inside that car.
I've seen him do some amazing runs, but there's something not the same this time.
Do you know what I think it is? I think this track is so dangerous that these guys are just not pushing that extra 10%. I think they're worried about making serious contact.
When you look at it's those walls, I wouldn't want to hit them.
No, you wouldn't. No, that's right. They hurt.
Yeah.
So they're on the line and ready to rock and roll. And we do get the thumbs up. Chris Wright takes the opportunity to warm his tyres one more time. Well, here we go. Stu Jones to lead. Chris Wright to give chase as they come off the line. Nice early initiation. Oh, Chris Wright's very shallow. You can see him on the foot brake as they let that car wash massively. Looked like he was almost going to go to the wall. And Stu Jones very fast through the middle of the circuit, but very shallow. Sacrifice that line. Chris Wright making a massive mistake. You can see that front bumper on that yellow curbing is way off that qualifying line. Trying to gain proximity with Stu Jones. Stu Jones' car is incredibly fast. Oh, what a big opposite drift there. And a big mistake for Chris Wright as he over-rotates. As Stu Jones gets himself into the roundabout. And he'll take a quick look over and say, well, where has he gone?
Where has he gone?
Stu Jones Appreciation Society down there.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
Sounds like it to me.
Well, they've gone quiet, so it can't be.
No, they can't. Oh no, there we go.
The Stu Jones Appreciation Society.
If they don't make a Facebook page called that now, I'll be disappointed. We've started something.
So Chris Wright and Stu Jones make their way back to the start line. As we were saying, Chris Wright's car, just him, this car just not playing ball this weekend. Something hasn't clicked, something's just not quite right. I'm not blaming the track. I'm going to retract that statement. I'm just going to say this track is so dangerous.
It's a challenge, isn't it? It's a massive
challenge. These guys
challenge.
are scared of it. So I think these guys are holding back ever so slightly. Some of these guys are holding back, and
maybe so.
And you know what? Fair play, because I wouldn't want to go out there, because it is very dangerous. Off the line, Chris Wright now to lead. Stu Jones to give chase, and Stu Jones would have been told on the radio by his spotters, hold back, don't push too hard, because Chris Wright gifted you a 10-0 advantage. As now Chris Wright does everything he tries in his power, to try and pull away, to try and get an inactive chase, but Stu Jones is still within distance. As Chris Wright now overcomes his nemesis, fires that 350Z to the wall, gets nice and deep into the outer zone. And Stu Jones just still in it. You can see him sacrifice a little bit of line there to make sure he got into that roundabout before Chris Wright exited. And both guys come across the line, and you know what? Stu Jones will be thanking his lucky stars.
Yeah, he absolutely will. I mean, that run was a much stronger run from Chris, but I just don't think it was enough. I think on this occasion.
Well, there we go. Decisions in. There we go. Stu Jones, ladies and gentlemen, gets the win and advances through. And Chris Wright, well, we all know, spinning ain't winning. So there we go. Damien Chopin, as you can see, enters the circuit. And we are going to try and finish this battle between him and Ash Jones. We've got one Jones in the top 16. Do we have another one, or will it be Damien Chopin? Ash Jones makes his way round to warm up the tyres, and this is the final run of our top 32. Then we will be starting with our top 16. It's looking good for a top 16 as well. We've got some really good battles lining up. As Chopin pulls to the start line, ready to do battle against Ash Jones. And Ash Jones is going to have no tyres either in a minute.
No.
He's just done a rolling burnout for God knows how long.
I think he's feeling confident though.
Well, they both get the thumbs up and off the line they go. Ash Jones to lead. Damien Chopin to give chase. Oh, and a nice early initiation from Ash Jones, but he's way down off that bank, way down on the outside zone. There's Damien Chopin. Oh, wow, look at that. Stu Jones makes a big mistake. Straightens massively as they come through the centre of the circuit. Damien Chopin now holds on to this one. Can Damien Chopin put a clean pass of the circuit in? They gain himself a spot in top 16. Chopin, and Chopin takes it into the wall. Chopin takes it to the wall. But he's going to try it and hang back in it again. Looks like that car didn't suffer too much damage as Damien Chopin gets himself into the roundabout as Ash Jones finishes up the run. What about?
Wow. I mean, just when you think you know what's going to happen, as usual,
you don't know what's going to happen.
We've got no idea. No idea.
So look at this from Damien Chopin. Tags the wall, throws the front in. He says, I'm still in it. So he clutch kicks it and continues to drift.
I mean, 10 out of 10 for commitment.
10 out of 10 for effort there from Damien Chopin. So decisions in, left for Chopin, right for Jones. And there we go, unanimous. Ash Jones gets the win and advances through. Damien Chopin knows. Damien Chopin says, look, I was in the wall. I was buried in the wall. There was no way I could win that battle buried in the wall, that's for sure.
But after his first one, it was looking really, really good. Hey, I've got a little note in my ear there from what you call the nerds in the van. They've adopted that phrase themselves now, the nerds in the van.
Are they calling themselves
They're calling themselves the nerds in the van now. We did start it, to be fair. Well, actually, no, Ian started it. I'm not taking any credit for that. We've got a weather update. Okay, we could be the chavs in the tower, apparently. I am from Middlesbrough, I'll deal with that. I'll take that on the shoulder. They've got a little weather update for us.
Right, okay, what's that? Don't tell me it's going to rain.
Okay.
So it's not going to rain then?
I won't tell you it then, it's fine.
It's fine.
We'll ignore the nerds.
We'll glaze over that fact, and we'll move it along to the next battle in our top 16. The first battle of our top 16 will be this one. It will be Paul Cunnington take on Nerigis. Championship hanging in the balance right now. Who knows who can take it? Oh, and almost contact as Nerigis goes very aggressive. Cunnington, our first place qualifier, gets nice and deep into the outside zone, but look at Nerigis now. He's already wrecked the car once. He says, I don't care about taking on any more damage. I want a podium, as he comes absolutely screaming onto the door of Paul Cunnington. They get into that front clipping point. Look at Nerigis buried on the back end of Cunnington's F14. Cunnington gets nice and deep into the wall. Here comes Nerigis once again, makes a dive up and to the side of that secret performance S14. Nerigis hanging with Cunnington right now as they get into the roundabout. Cunnington giving it everything he can, and Nerigis bringing the fight.
Wow. Well, that's why he qualified first. Brilliant lead run, but also quite excited for Nerigis' chase run as well. Didn't think he was looking quite as strong as he has been in the past today, but he brought it there.
Look, as I said, he's wrecked the car once.
He kind of doesn't care now.
I don't care anymore. I've got all winter to fix this car. Let's just get a podium.
Full send at all costs.
Full send at all costs. He's not part of the lunatic school for no reason.
Well, this is absolutely true.
Right, I'm getting looked at by our start line mark. Track manager Toby. He's rushing me. I could barely catch my breath, and he's giving me the thumbs up already. So there we go. Back on the line. Nerigis to lead. Paul Cunnington to give chase. Look, Paul Cunnington now has to repay the favour. He has to come out swinging. If he doesn't, Nerigis could easily walk away with this one right now as they come off the line. Early initiation from Nerigis. And he shuts it down, and big contact. Big contact there as Nerigis stops drifting and Paul Cunnington gets himself into it. And Nerigis' car failing there at the first hurdle. And you know what? Paul Cunnington, and Nerigis over-rotates, and you know what? That's the nail in the coffin. That is the nail in the coffin right there for Nerigis.
Yeah, unfortunately a decision made, but Paul Cunnington, told you he might
well, I'll tell you what,
just swoop in and do well at the last minute.
Paul Cunnington is absolutely flying today. That car is on form. Ladies and gentlemen, show your appreciation for Paul Cunnington and Nerigis. Slide him left for Cunnington, right for Nerigis, and there we go, unanimous. Paul Cunnington gets the win and advances through to the Grade 8, and I tell you what, he looks like he's got the championship in the palm of his hand right now.
He really does, doesn't he? I mean, this could be his now. He's already got rid of possibly Josh.
Well, Josh King, look, Josh King can't win the championship. The nerds in the van have told us that. They said they need to verify it, so we're not going to go with it as gospel, but they're saying that potentially Josh King cannot take the championship. Cunnington's already in the Grade 8. He is clawing so many points back now. Out of nowhere, Cunningham could take this 2019 Pro-Am Championship. It's not all over yet though, there's still 2 more people in it for the fight.
Absolutely. So many opportunities to flip it on its head once again.
Well, we move it along. Next battle on the line in top 16 will be Stephen McConnell to take on Ian Rutherford. McConnell to lead, Rutherford to give chase, and Rutherford proving earlier on that experience overcomes everything. But Stephen McConnell been looking absolutely clinical all day. Can he keep it up? Can he keep that form? As Rutherford sticks it to the back end, that BMW, and a big dive from Rutherford. Look at the dive from Rutherford as he keeps that car absolutely pinned on angle. Gives McConnell a little bit of room to get himself out of that front clipping point and down past the judging tower. McConnell sets himself up. Oh, but Rutherford now puts himself into the wall. What is going on? These guys are just small little errors throwing it away.
We're lost for words. I am. I just don't know what's going to happen anymore.
I don't even know. Stephen McConnell he maybe thought, well, I thought Stephen McConnell was going to have to do something, next level.
Yeah.
And Ian Rutherford just out of nowhere, a little tag of the wall, boom, upsets the car, puts himself in a big straight, and wow, look at this, we take a look at the replay. Nothing to do with McConnell either. Big mistake from Rutherford.
Yeah,
look at that, big, and it was technically an opposite drift.
Kind of was for a second, wasn't it?
So judges be looking at that one and deliberating that one. We go back to the start line now. Ian Rutherford in the lead.
He's going to have to pull it out the bag now.
Stephen McConnell to give chase. Well, now's the time to pull it out of the bag. This is it. Can Rutherford overturn possibly a 10-0 deficit as he gets that car all the way to the wall and nice and deep into those outer zones? As McConnell starts to fall back, starts to lose, they've got a lot of ground, and McConnell, big handbrake, straight line drag through the middle of the track as Ian Rutherford squeezes the throttle and unleashes all of the horsepower. No wall tags this time for the OG as he gets himself set up perfectly, shallows up the angle, looks for that outside zone, back on the throttle once again. There goes Ian Rutherford as he tries to smoke out Stephen McConnell, themselves into the roundabout, and McConnell left standing as Rutherford takes it across the line.
Not the neatest chase from McConnell, but I don't know if that's enough to overturn Ian.
Well,
I don't
look
think it
at
is.
that.
No. There we go.
Stephen McConnell, ladies and gentlemen, gets the win and advances through. Ian Rutherford knocking himself out of competition. As a good friend of mine once said, if he was a boxer, he'd punch himself in the face.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good plan.
So there we go. Toby, slow down. Slow down, Toby. We'll move it along. This one, Jamie Stanton up next to take on Stephen Fitzgerald. And it will be BMW 36 to take on Nissan S15. 1JZ to take on RB25. And you know what, Fitzgerald, he was lucky in his top 32 battle to get through against Brad Wallbank. Struggled to get that car balanced. Now he's going up against a contender who's very clinical, very good line driver. Can he unleash all the potential in that S15, that Quinn's M Sport Fitzgerald Auto Works S15? Well, he's going to definitely try. They come off the line. Stanton to lead, Fitzgerald to give chase. And look at that. Oh, what a straighten from Fitzgerald as Jamie Stanton gets himself nice and high up on the bank and does exactly what he's been doing all day. But now Fitzgerald reins him in. And you can see that angry Irishman pedalling that S15, doing everything he can to get that car glued to the side of Jamie Stanton's E36. Stanton very collected though, very technical as he gets himself back up onto the wall, into that outer zone. Fitzgerald not really putting a foot wrong at the moment. Can he keep a hold of it as he transitions through the smoke? Up onto the door he goes. A little bit of room given from Fitzgerald, and Stanton puts it to the wall.
Great drive by both drivers there, really. I'm quite impressed by that one. I thought it was going to be quite interesting because they're very different drivers as well in the style. So I wasn't sure how that was going to go.
Well, look, I mean, for me, Stephen Fitzgerald, if we go back to previous experiences, what we see in the top 32, that failure to initiate or that mistake on initiation is absolutely crucial for a lead or a chase. And I think Stephen McConnell there, he kind of put the nail in the coffin, give it one hit and said, well,
there you go.
Stanton, you take the hammer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what is going to play out now. They go back on the line, Fitzgerald to lead and Jamie Stanton to give chase. And really, everything hangs in Jamie Stanton's hands right now. Can he take down the Irishman? As Fitzgerald now puts it in nice and high up onto the bank, just drops away as he gets out of that outside zone, and Fitzgerald looks like he's on an absolutely flying qualifying run. Big dab of the foot brake though to get that car balanced into the outside zone, but look at Jamie Stanton. Stanton now finds the back end of that S15. Jamie Stanton not scared to get nice and close as he makes a dive. Oh, what a big straighten from Fitzgerald as they come down, back up into that outside zone. Fitzgerald puts foot to floor, jumps the wheel up on the curb, and Stanton gets himself on it, but Jamie Stanton makes a big mistake. Transitions far too early.
That was looking so strong for Stanton, and he makes that mistake just at the end.
I think he got himself lost in the smoke ever so slightly. I think he got choked up in the smoke, transitioned a little bit too quickly, tried to make a dive onto the door. Fitzgerald washed down the track, and Stanton just couldn't get on the door. And I don't know, if both guys have made a lot of mistakes, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes one more time.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, because I don't know which way this one should go.
But again, going back to the lead of Stephen Fitzgerald, that failure to initiate, or that mistake on initiation, has been crucifying a lot of people so far tonight. So could that be it? Could that be it? Well, slide him left for Stanton, right for Fitzgerald. Brad, Ben and Ryan. Oh, and there you go. Stephen Fitzgerald, ladies and gentlemen, gets the win. Judges, we need to talk to you. Whole host of errors in that one.
Yeah, it did all come down to the errors. I mean, obviously Stephen had a bit of an initiation behind Jamie on when he was chasing Jamie there, but when they switched it round, Jamie had more Jamie had more errors there in his. Can you hear it now? Yeah. Right. Sorry about that. So Jamie had more errors in his chase run than Stephen had in his, and that's pretty much what happened there. We sort of seen Jamie straighten up a couple of times, and a big straighten coming to the roundabout there, which basically pipped it for Stephen.
So there we go, Stephen Fitzgerald getting the win and advancing through. Jamie Stanton out of competition, and we move it along to another Mack Motorsport driver, and that will be Mark Chapman to take on Danny McGuire. Danny McGuire, one of the happiest men on the grid. Look at that, tucked straight onto the back bumper of that little BMW E30 Touring, and you knows that Mark Chapman puts down a very nice lead line and he can stick it to him. A little bit of ground opens up between them, and once again Danny McGuire keeps that throttle absolutely glued to the floor as he fires on big angle trying to find the side of that E30 Touring. Look at this from McGuire. McGuire in it still as he won't give up the fight, takes the spoiler off the car. There's Danny McGuire. Oh, and McGuire over-rotates. Danny McGuire over-rotates, and Mark Chapman gets himself into the roundabout and then sees McGuire in front of him and says, well.
It was all going so well. Yeah, I think he unsettled himself possibly there when he's took the spoiler off. Unless he's done any kind of damage when he's tapped it, but I don't think so.
I'm getting rushed here. I'm getting told to hurry up, and I just can't.
I know. Toby's cold.
Toby's cold, and he just keeps going. Come on, keep going. Keep going.
Let's send the next ones out.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So here we go, back onto the line they go, and it will be Mark Chapman now to chase and Danny McGuire to lead. And I think you're right, Sarah. I think McGuire tagged the wall, knocked the spoiler off, and he threw himself. Yeah. He scared himself. Can Chapman keep his cool right now? As Danny McGuire is going to do everything in his power to try and drive away, try and open up and try and overturn the deficit that he just created himself. Absolutely flying is Danny McGuire. Look at the speed he carries into that final turn down there at the bottom of the circuit. Transitions in front of the judging tower, and Danny McGuire, I don't even think he's lifted off the throttle once just yet. He's absolutely screaming. Mark Chapman, though, he might not have the proximity, but he's still not lost in the fight. Oh, and Danny McGuire makes yet another mistake in the roundabout. And Mark Chapman just give him the room to manoeuvre, and you know what, Danny McGuire knew. McGuire knew.
I think he's just unsettled himself. I think he's coming really confident, and it's brilliant because I love his driving.
Well, there we
style,
go, ladies and gentlemen. We make it unanimous and official. Mark Chapman gets the win and advances through. Danny McGuire knocking himself out of competition. Spinning is not winning, so you can't go. You can't continue drifting.
No.
You can't continue going in the competition if
Absolutely.
you're putting that car on a 360.
No.
So there we go, one half of our top 16 bracket done, and we move it to the other half now as the drivers make their way out onto circuit. Let's have a look quickly. Cunnington still in the fight. McConnell, Fitz, Chapman, Paul Cunnington. I'm telling you what, right now, if the points stack up in his favour, if he could, I wonder if it comes down to him winning the round. If Cunnington wins the event, tops qualifying, he's got maximum points. Does he take the whole championship? If Cowley goes out now against Sykes, well, who knows?
Possibility.
They're coming off the line. It will be Cowley to lead out Sykes for a spot in the Great 8. Nice initiation from Cowley, gets himself way deep into the outside zone, opening the door for Andy Sykes to get nice, close and personal. Andy Sykes using all of the track available. Look at this from Andy Sykes, bringing the fight to Martin Cowley. Cowley absolutely screams into the outside zone, puts the hammer down, tries to drive away from Andy Sykes. If Andy Sykes can hold on to this one and not get lost in the smoke, he looks like a serious contender. Shallows up, does Andy Sykes. Now starts to get lost ever so slightly as Cowley gets himself set up perfectly for the roundabout. Sykes though makes a dive, almost messes up, gets back on the throttle, but Cowley is up and gone.
Cowley doing what he does best there, staying as a really strong contender in the championship, and Sykes giving him a good run for his money.
Stop everything for a minute.
Stop everything. What?
Stop everything for a minute.
What? You're scaring me now.
DJ Luke Paul is in the house.
In the house, yes! I knew you were going to say
so
that.
we can party tonight, people. DJ Luke Paul is in the tent, set up and ready to go. He's just sent me a little video. I can't watch it, but he is here and he's ready to party. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to party. I tell you who's ready to party. Martin Cowley and Andy Sykes right now. Sykes to lead, getting completely confused. Andy Sykes to lead, Martin Cowley to give chase. Martin Cowley needs this. He needs to beat Andy Sykes to continue the championship race. He knows Cunnington's storming ahead in points right now. Look at that initiation from Andy Sykes. He gets himself well deep up into the wall. Nice and high on the wall goes Andy Sykes, but look at Cowley. Onto the side he goes. This is where Cowley comes alive. Cowley thrives in these twin battles as he looks for the side of S13. Once again, almost makes contact. Backs out of it to give Sykes that room to manoeuvre to transition into the circuit. As now Cowley, look at that nice, fast, snappy transition on the handbrake, slowing the car down, trying to find a side of Andy Sykes S13. Once again, Andy Sykes gets himself set up perfectly, and Martin Cowley just about holds into it. Not an easy one.
Not at all. Such an exciting battle from both drivers there. Well done to the pair of them, because that was absolutely epic. Has Martin Cowley done enough to keep himself in the championship?
I think Cowley just tagged Sykes and took his his front bumper off.
Looks like he has. So the judges are deliberating a few things over there. Must be quite a tough one to call.
Yeah, so judges just deliberating this one, just trying to find out, was there some contact? And Martin Cowley, just touched Andy Sykes there. And I think this is where the contact was made in this latter part of the run. Andy Sykes doing a very good job. Martin Cowley makes a big mistake there when he comes in there. You can see him slowing down that car on the handbrake, very shallow. And then a big mistake there, almost comes to a complete stop on the roundabout. God, do you know what? Could we see more upsets? Slide him left for Cowley, right for Andy Sykes. There we go, unanimous. Martin Cowley gets the win. Judges, we go to you. Incredible stuff from Cowley.
Yeah, amazing lead line from Martin there on his first run. A few errors from Andy behind chasing, but then when we switch it around on the second run, Andy had a couple of wobbles and a big one as we were coming around this last corner. We put Martin all out of position, but we had the slight advantage to Martin. He took the win.
So there we go. Martin Cowley gets the win and continues his championship race. We move it along back to the start line, where we will see William Hanna to take on Charlie Hume. So there we go, 300 horsepower SR20 powered S13 to take on a 562 horsepower RB25 powered Nissan Skyline R33. Well, Willie Hanna has already taken down our championship points leader. He's already stood on the top step of the podium. He looks across and he said, this guy, Again, this guy, I beat him once, I beat him at Birmingham. This pesky young kid from Drift Cup, I just can't seem to elude him. Well, Hanna now sits on the line and says, well, he's out-qualified me. That means he gets to lead first. That means he's going to let me make all the mistakes. What has Willie Hanna got? They come off the line. Hume to lead, Hanna to give chase. And Charlie Hume, we know that technical driving style is where it gets him nice and high and gets him all the way through the battles. Look at this from Charlie Hume as he pulls. It's a big distance between him and Willie Hanna right now, and Hanna starts to shallow up, tries to re-evaluate the line he's taking, trying to find a side of that S13 as Charlie Hume flicks that car from left to right down the straight, back up onto the wall goes Charlie Hume, and Willie Hanna, look at him making a whole host of errors in the background. You can see him left foot braking that car, not reacting the way that he wants. They get into the roundabout. Can Willie Hanna find the side of Charlie Hume's S13? And I'll tell you what, the answer will be no, as Hume takes it across the line.
Charlie Hume has been strong since he kind of came in and stormed this championship, and he's just not giving up.
He's not going to give up.
No, he means business.
He's not going to give up until he gets a championship under his belt or a trophy.
What? Good on him. I like it.
Fair play to Charlie Hume. He is doing an absolutely sterling job.
Amazing. And it's not all talk either.
No, he can walk the walk, that's for sure. Well, can he find himself a spot in the Great 8? Very nice lead there from Charlie Hume, but he now needs to replicate the chase. Can he better the chase of Willie Hanna? He gives a thumbs up to everybody around. He's happy, he's having fun. We give the start line marshal our thumbs up. It will be Willie Hanna to lead and Charlie Hume to give chase. As Willie Hanna now pulls to the line and says, well, that wasn't easy. I need to do this, I need to make it happen. They come off the line. Big clutch kick initiation from Willie Hanna as he left foot brakes to try and get himself nice and deep into the outside zone. And Willie Hanna glued to the throttle right now, but look at Charlie Hume. Not going to be left in the smoke as he makes a huge drive across the track. He uses all the momentum in that S13 to find the side of Willie Hanna's car, just backs out of it ever so slightly to avoid contact with Willie Hanna. And now Willie Hanna's car looks like it's working and on form. Gets himself nice and high, back up onto the banking on that outside turn, and Willie Hanna looks for the roundabout, and Charlie Hume looks for the side of Willie Hanna's car. As Charlie Hume goes for the dive one more time, they take it across the line.
I don't know which way this is going to go. Both drivers have really brought their A game there.
They certainly have, but look at this, one vote. Oh, it's unanimous! Willie Hanna gets the win. Willie Hanna gets the win. Judges, we need to talk to you about that one.
Yeah, so it all boils down to the lead runs there. Willie coming out with a stronger lead run, much stronger, not as many mistakes at all. Charlie wavering, the car not looking like it's sort of pulling where it should do, but Willie pushing in his chase, and again nice and strong in his lead, with Charlie lagging behind, leaving gaps, etc.
So there we go, judges. Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
That's how it is. We move it along, and this, well, the first battle of the night for this young man. It will be second place in the points championship at the moment. Louis Edwards to take on Cole Farrar, and I'm telling you what, this is not going to be easy. Farrar looks on form right now. BMW E36 to take on Mazda RX-8. We got any Louis Edwards fans in the house? We got any Cole Farrar fans in the house? Well, let me tell you what, Cole Farrar doesn't go down without a fight, but Louis Edwards is going to be hungry for a championship. He can see Cowley and Cunningham clawing their way through, trying to take the championship down, and he knows if he wants to be in it, he's got to win it. They're off the line, Louis Edwards to lead, Farrar to give chase. And Farrar knows he can stick it to the side of this little BMW because he knows that line will be absolutely perfect from Louis Edwards. And look at this from Farrar, he does. Farrar finds the side of that BMW and trusts Louis Edwards to lead him around the circuit right now. As Cole Farrar jumps onto the back bumper of that BMW. Farrar blinding Louis Edwards as Louis Edwards throws the smoke up in the face of Cole Farrar. Look at the line from Louis Edwards as he pilots that car into that outside zone. Onto the wall he goes, but look at Farrar nudging up into the door. Can he jump back onto the side one more time? He's going to definitely attempt to, as Farrar gets nice and personal across the line.
I think that's one police car you wouldn't mind getting chased by, in all fairness, though. You wouldn't mind seeing those flashing lights behind you. He gave it a good run there. Really good run.
Well, I tell you what, Cole Farrar has definitely come to this event saying, I don't care what happens, I'm going to bring it all to the party and see what happens, because that was incredible for Cole Farrar. And look at Louis Edwards, arm out the window, tapping the car, saying, "Wow, buddy, that was a serious battle." But now Louis Edwards will be on the radio to the spotters saying, "What do I need to do?" And they'll be saying, "Well, you need to be absolutely glued to the door." And you can trust Farrar, because he's got a really good line. Oh, look at that, almost contact as Edwards comes in very hot. Late initiation from Cole Farrar, and Edwards backs out of it ever so slightly. Farrar now gets on the loud pedal and starts to squeeze through the middle of the circuit. Louis Edwards is going to attempt a nice big dive down the inside, and look at this from Louis Edwards as he finds the side of that Mazda RX-8. Now he's there. Can Farrar shake him? Not a chance. Louis Edwards staring down the side of Cole Farrar's Mazda RX-8 as he gets closer and closer every single turn, and an insane transition from Louis Edwards as he almost makes contact, nudging the side of Cole Farrar's car.
That has got to be one of the hardest battles to judge from what I can see there, because both drivers were just fantastic. I mean, the proximity from both of them, to be fair, they made some great dives. They've got the confidence, like you said, they know that each other take a really, really good line.
Exactly.
And so they've got the confidence to chase.
Buxton, show your appreciation for Cole Farrar and Louis Edwards. That was like a final. That wasn't a top 16 battle. That wasn't a top 16 battle. That was a final battle. These guys deserve to be in the final, that's for sure. But I tell you what, only one of them can advance through to the Great 8, and Louis Edwards would love nothing more than to advance through and claim some more points. What way do the judges see it, though? And we await the decision to drop in from our judges. Oh, it's a nervous wait. Slide him left for Edwards, right for Farrar. Brad, Ben and Ryan. Brad says Louis. Ben says one more time. Ryan says Louis Edwards gets the win. Louis Edwards gets the win and advances through to the Great 8 and keeps the championship alive. Judges, a split decision. That must have been close.
There was about 1 point between it. I went with it one more time due to errors from both drivers, and it was an epic chase from both of them, and I wanted to see that one more time. I will hand it across to Ryan so he can explain why he went with Louis for the win.
So the biggest difference I saw was in Carl's lead. He put a wheel off coming into the roundabout, and he was just a little bit shallower through that roundabout than Louis was. Both drivers really good. I kind of wanted to see it one more time, but I could, with the criteria we've got, I could give it to Louis. Louis deserving it well.
Awesome, thank you very much, judges. So it's great to get an explanation as to why the decision was what it was and why it was a split one as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, it just goes to show you how hard these guys are pushing and what is exactly on the line. We move it along to the next battle of the night, and only one more spot in the Great 8 awaits. Well, it's going to be Ash Jones to take on Stu Jones. The brother rivalry will go down right now. Who will take it through to the Great 8? Oh, what a late initiation there from Stu Jones. As Stu Jones fails to get to that outside line, and Ash Jones there, you can see, very scrappy. He's going to make a big dive across the circuit, almost contact. These guys pushing each other around the track right now. Ash Jones would love nothing more than to take his brother down, but Stu Jones wants to be in it. He knows it's still way up there in the championship. He's still fighting for this one. And Ash Jones goes to make a dive up to the door, but Stu puts the foot down and smokes out his brother as they get into the roundabout. One last dive up and to the side goes Ash Jones as he almost makes contact with his brother, and across the line they go.
Tell you what, Stu means business there, doesn't he? Couple of dangerous dives. I can't believe he didn't make contact. Quite amazing that he actually managed to hold that. Maybe he was just trying to unnerve him.
So these guys are going to make their way back to the start line. Yeah, Ash Jones, look at this as Stu Jones tries to intimidate his brother and tries to wind him up, saying, I'm going to take this down, I'm going to take you down. Well, now Ash Jones leads and Stu Jones to give chase, and then we're looking over each other, smiling from ear to ear, having a laugh, having some fun. They come off the line, but serious business right now. Who will take it through to the Great 8. Ash Jones initiates, but it's very, very late. It looked like he almost was going to shut the car down there. Stu Jones had to back out of it. Oh, wow, what a straighten from Ash. An almost contact as Stu Jones narrowly avoids contact with the back of his brother's car. They get into that front clipping point, and Stu Jones squeezes the throttle, looks for the back end, and they get nice and close to the wall there on transition. Ash Jones finds himself back into the outer zone, and Stu Jones balancing that car on the foot brake. Oh, almost contact from Stu Jones as he almost nudges his brother around the roundabout, arm out the window as they come across the line. Brother rivalry.
Awesome. Have we had that before? Two brothers in a twin battle. That was pretty epic.
Well, look at that one. Easy decision for the judges. Slide them left for Stu, right for Ash, and there we go. Stu Jones gets the win.
They clearly know how to wind each other up as well. So they're definitely brothers.
Judges, we just going to quickly throw it back to you.
Yeah, a multitude of straight-ins there from Ash Jones, both in the lead and the chase run. Stuart really bringing the fight and having better proximity, and obviously Stuart takes the win.
So there we go.
Having a bit of a fisticuff when they got out the car there.
Brother rivalry. And those guys, you know, build the cars together, they drive together, they have a lot of fun together. And there we go, the Great 8 decided. And we are moving through this one thick and fast. So the first battle of our Great 8 will be Paul Cunnington to take on Stephen McConnell. And Cunnington, well, he looks like a man possessed right now. Can he keep this one going? Up next, after that, it will be Chapman to take on Fitzgerald, Cowley to take on Hanna, and Louis to take on Stu. These battles don't get any easier for our judges or my voice, in fact. And look at the smile from Paul Cunnington right now. He knows King's out of it. He knows that he has really got to go for it now. He's in the running for it. He needs to keep at this one. They sit on the line. McConnell says, well, I never thought this weekend was play out this way, that's for sure. They come off the line. Cunnington to lead, McConnell to give chase, and Cunnington back up high on that qualifying line, absolutely flying like he's been doing all day, and that opens the door for Stephen McConnell to get nice and close. But Stephen McConnell looks like he's going to get outpaced. He looks like he could be outdriven as Cunnington puts the hammer down and starts to drive away as he throws smoke in the face of Stephen McConnell. Cunnington up onto the wall he goes, and look at the separation as Cunnington squeezes the accelerator and says, Cunnington, McConnell, you don't know, you can't hang with me, buddy. Fires it round the roundabout, and McConnell not in the fight one bit.
I'll tell you what, you can tell we're getting to the Great 8 now. This is it. They're bringing the fight now. Cunnington, honestly,
where does this driving come from?
Where's he been?
I tell you what, he's waited all year.
I was going to say, is this his game plan? He's kind of just consistent all year, you know, hoping that people kind of won't see him coming in the last round. He's going to go, yeah, I'm going to show him what I've really got now.
I think that's it. I think he's got to this point and said, well, I've got nothing to lose, so if I just, you know, throw it all on the line now, then I could end up winning the championship. When they pull back on the line, it will be Stephen McConnell now to lead and Paul Cunnington to give chase. Cunnington knows it was a big separation. He knows that he can stick it to the door. McConnell's got a very nice lead line. He's very, very consistent. Look at that, nice and high up into outer zone 1 goes Stephen McConnell. Now Cunnington with him all the way, just giving him some room. McConnell comes through the centre of the circuit, but a big handbrake drag opens the door and allows Paul Cunnington to get even closer as he jumps right up onto the side of Stephen McConnell. They come through that front clipping point, and Stephen McConnell can almost taste the race fuel being burnt from Paul Cunnington's race car right now. But look at Cunnington. Cunnington makes a huge mistake way down the inside of the circuit, just about recovers, and another big wobble as they come into the roundabout. Cunnington falls. Cunnington starts to fall apart on the final round, and across the line they go. Cunnington playing with fire.
I can't believe that. He might have just thrown his only chance away to come and snip the championship away from everybody else, but let's let the judges make the decision.
Do you know what? That's a tough one.
It is. I mean,
that's a tough one.
My guess is that he's going to have made too many errors really to pull it through, but who knows?
It's very, very close. It's going to be very close. Look at this. Judges wanted to see a replay of this. As you can see, this is the lead from Cunnington. So they'll be looking at mistakes made by either Cunnington or McConnell. And there was look, McConnell makes that, he does that same mistake in the middle of the track. The car just doesn't have the power or the legs to, link that part of the circuit consistently. Look at this from Paul Cunningham, though. He pulls away, drives away. It was a massive gap, but look, Stephen McConnell sticks to that qualifying line. He doesn't drop way down to try and gain proximity. He stays out nice and wide and stays on that qualifying line. That's what the judges would have wanted to see. I think for me it was the big error. It was the big error from Paul Cunningham in that chase position. He was so far down the bank, and he knew that he transitioned miles too early, and it put him on such a wrong line. You can see here, very nice driving, but there, look, big handbrake drag in the middle of the circuit there for Stephen McConnell, and Cunningham doing a very nice job to get up on the door of McConnell. Very close from Cunningham, but look, this is where it all goes wrong. He transitions miles too early. You can see him trying to get that car,
and then he's messed up there massively,
and he just does a rolling burnout to try and save it, and a big error there again, a big wobble as they come into the roundabout. I think that could be the end of the weekend for Cunningham. I think that could be
that's my
it.
guess. I think you're right. Yeah, that is my guess.
Well, it's lucky we've not got to judge it.
I'm glad I don't. I wouldn't want the pressure.
Well, who is going to go through? The judges just having a quick chat about this one. Still talking about this one. We got any Paul Cunningham fans in the house? We got any Stephen McConnell fans in the house? A few of each.
Yeah.
Just a sprinkling of each.
Stephen McConnell waved his own arm then.
He waved his own arm. Support yourself.
Fair enough, there he is. Fair enough.
Self-love. That's what that is.
Confidence in yourself.
Self-love.
Yeah.
That is. That's what that is. Self-love. Well, everyone's eagerly awaiting the decision. Judges still talking about this one. You know what? I think this could potentially go one more time.
I think it could. It's obviously a difficult one to decide, and that's one way to force a decision, isn't it? One more time.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, we just keep battling until someone makes a mistake. Slide them left for Cunningham, right for McConnell, Brad, Ben and Ryan. Brad says one more time. Ben says one more time. We're going to go one more time. Judges, we throw it back to you just real quick.
Yeah, we just wanted clarity as to why we were going to go one more time, and Paul had one of the best lead lines that we've seen and a really, really solid chase, which we gave the advantage to Paul up until the error, but obviously because he had such a strong lead line and there was a few errors from Stephen in the chase line, he's straight in the middle of the track, we have to give it a one more time because it wasn't enough to overturn the advantage.
So there we go, straight into the middle of the circuit, like I said, on the handbrake, and then the errors from Paul Cunningham.
Yeah,
so one more time. So there we go. So we're going to find out whether these guys are going to go at it again straight away, or they're going to get some tyres on the back of those cars. Paul Cunningham will be saying, well, you know what, I've had an easy ride up until now. McConnell's not making this easy. Well, it looks like potentially Paul Cunningham is going to pull back to the line. So we are just going to get our start line marshal Malks down there to find out who's doing what and who's going where. It does look like we are almost ready to rock and roll. It does look like these guys are going to go at it again. Don't forget, this is for a spot in the final four. So whoever wins this goes through to the final four championship, hanging in the balance as we know. And also these guys get to battle again tomorrow in the Pro Class.
What more could you ask for?
Yeah, they battle Sunday as well in the Battle Royale.
Well, you never know. Sweet talk someone, might happen.
So there we go. Looks like these guys are going to go at it one more time straight away, no messing around. Will be Cunningham to lead, Stephen McConnell to give chase. And there we go, thumbs up all round in the tower. Judges ready, track marshals ready. Buxton, you ready? We'll get you warmed up, don't worry, by the end of the night. Let's go off the line. Cunningham to lead, McConnell to give chase. And look at this, McConnell knows that he can't let Cunningham get away this time. Cunningham nice and high up on that outside zone, doing exactly what he's done all weekend. Oh, wow, and McConnell makes a big mistake and parks it in the wall.
Massive contact with the wall.
And Stephen McConnell parks it in the wall.
I didn't think he was going to drive away from that there.
Do you know what? I thought that was it. I thought that was game over. Cunningham comes flying in, back into that outside zone. He's going to finish up the run. And he's going to get into the roundabout and he's going to take a quick look over his shoulder and realise that Stephen McConnell is not to be seen, and he's going to think what happened there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually haven't seen Stephen come back round just yet. I think he was testing his steering and everything, make sure there was no...
Well, I mean, it was pretty nasty bump into the wall there.
I expected a bent wheel or something there, to be fair.
So Stephen McConnell, can he even compete in the rest of this battle? As Paul Cunnington makes his way back to the start line. We're just waiting to find out.
It's tense.
More fireworks. Not just fireworks at the end of this battle, at the end of this night.
fireworks out on the track as well.
So there we go, you can see our start line. Marshall Melks talking to Stephen McConnell. Yeah, it does look like Stephen McConnell's car is fine and he is willing to continue with the battle. So Paul Cunnington right now must be thinking, someone's looking over me this weekend, because I am really being gifted, I'm really being helped out massively. We get the thumbs up all round. It will be McConnell to lead out Cunnington. And Cunnington now, well, he needs to give McConnell some room. But he's not going to. He's going to bring the fight straight away. And look at this from Cunnington as he fires it up straight onto the back bumper of Stephen McConnell. Oh, and Stephen McConnell spins that car. Obviously suffering a big problem after that impact with the wall. And
I'm
look
not
at
surprised.
That. Ladies and gentlemen, show your appreciation as these guys pull up.
Yeah, well done for McConnell there, even giving that a go, because he's definitely must have possibly some bent steering or suspension or something under there.
Absolute warrior. There we go, decisions in. Left for Cunnington, right for McConnell, and Paul Cunnington gets the win and advances through to the final four. And well,
this could shake things up.
This could be it for Paul Cunnington. So there we go, Cunnington advances through to the final four. And Paul Cunnington right now will be sitting in that car working out every single point, working out where he's going to earn these points, how far up it puts him, who's still in the competition. And we move it along to the next battle. It will be Stephen Fitzgerald to take on Mark Chapman. So Stephen Fitzgerald in that Quinn's M Sport S15 pulls up to the start line. And here we go, Chapman to lead, Stephen Fitzgerald to give chase. Mark Chapman on that perfect lead line most of the day. Can he keep it together? Can he hold it together and get himself a spot in the final four? Stephen Fitzgerald starts to lose some ground, can't keep with that BMW. He's going to shallow up and try and dive onto the back end. Well, look at this, Chapman puts foot to floor, starts to drive away. And Stephen Fitzgerald now lost in a trail of smoke from Mark Chapman. Mark Chapman carrying some serious speed into that outside zone. As Chapman drives once again away from Stephen Fitzgerald, sets himself up perfectly for the roundabout. Fitzgerald makes a dive but just cannot pull it off. And look at this, Mark Chapman proves himself in the Pro-Am class.
Tell you what a drive from Chapman. I mean, Stephen Fitzgerald, they're pulling in a good chase, but I just think Chapman's looking so strong tonight. We'll see how he fares in the chase, because I think Stephen Fitzgerald's possibly got more power. Could pull away from him. I don't know.
I'm just going to say right now, Mark Chapman, don't put him in the corner.
Mate. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Don't put baby in the corner, because I tell you what, right now Chapman is looking like a man possessed.
He is, isn't he?
And he would love nothing more than to take down Stephen Fitzgerald. He'd say, don't come to my country with your loud, aggressive S15 and try and take our podiums. So Chapman arriving from Drift Cup this year, and look at that, making a statement this weekend, really putting himself out there. And Stephen Fitzgerald was sitting on the radio to his spotter saying, well, you know what, that was a little bit faster than what I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, I know. He didn't seem to be on the pace there, didn't he?
Well, so here we go. Fitzgerald smoking the tyres off the line. Mark Chapman gives him some room to initiate and then fires in. Oh, but Chapman makes a small mistake. Oh, and again a small mistake from Chapman. And again another mistake from Chapman, as Chapman just signed himself a date with the devil as he fires that car onto the back end of Stephen Fitzgerald's S15. And Fitzgerald just keeps his cool, just keeps onto that qualifying line. Mark Chapman now gets that car working, gets himself set up, trying to get some proximity between him and Stephen Fitzgerald, but he gets lost in the smoke. He's going to transition a little bit too early, but finds himself on the inside of the roundabout as Stephen Fitzgerald smokes out the grandstand.
Really scrappy chase from Chapman there, unfortunately. I mean, in the lead position, I guess he can just forget about what Fitzgerald is doing behind him and just do that perfect calculated line that he's been driving all day. But then here, it started with errors from the beginning, didn't it, for Chapman?
it was just a whole host of errors there from Mark Chapman. I'm not sure whether they gripped that car up miles too much and he just didn't carry enough speed to initiate, or what happened there for Mark Chapman. But I tell you what, I think that could be the end of the weekend. I think that could be it. And I think Stephen Fitzgerald is just doing the same thing repetitively, and it's just playing in his favour right now. As we can see, Fitzgerald pulls up. Here we go, slide him left for Chapman, right for Fitzgerald. Ben, Brad and Ryan make it unanimous. Stephen Fitzgerald gets the win and advances through to the final four. Judges scrappy there from Mark Chapman, sorry.
Yeah, Mark was very, very scrappy, poor initiation, but then drove around the infield of the track for quite a considerable amount. We penalised that quite heavily, but also in a chase position, left foot braking when you needed to gain proximity is a massive no-no, so we've punished him for that as well, and Stephen takes the win.
So there we go. Stephen Fitzgerald finds himself in the final four, and this one, well, here we go.
It's going to start getting a bit spicy now.
Starting to get spicy now. We've got Paul Cunnington already in the final four for the championship. Martin Cowley sitting third in the championship. He's hunting it down. He knows that every point now gained is a bonus. But William Hanna has already taken down the points leader, Josh King. Can he do it again? Can Hanna take down Cowley? Can Hanna make Cunnington's weekend? They're off the line. Cowley to lead, Willie Hanna to give chase. And look at that initiation from Martin Cowley as he gets into it nice and early, but Willie Hanna finds himself ever so slightly lost in the smoke from Martin Cowley. Martin Cowley firing up a smoke screen right now to Willie Hanna, because Willie Hanna desperately trying to find the side of that S14. They come round the back end of the circuit, and once again Willie Hanna lost in a cloud of smoke as they get onto the wall. Martin Cowley absolutely flying as he gets nice and high. Willie Hanna not in it, no proximity. He's going to make one ditch and dive back onto the door, but Martin Cowley shuts that door and says, not a hope in hell.
Told you it was going to get spicy. You've run out of voice now, haven't you? You're getting excited now.
Nope, not at all. My voice is still 110%
for now.
Broken.
It won't be long. That was epic. Epic.
By Sunday, I'm not even going to be able to say any words.
No.
That's for sure.
We'll have a little whispering version of Ian on the microphone on Sunday.
We're going to do something very funny on Sunday, and I'm not going to give it away just yet because I'm going to keep it a secret to everyone that comes down in attendance, and we're going to mix it up a little bit, but we're going to have some serious fun on Sunday. So If you're thinking about coming down Sunday, make sure you get in your car, you come down. Tickets on sale all weekend. Get yourself in the grandstand. We're going to have some serious fun on the commentary. We are just going to go all out and make it a really good event. Toby, let's get this run underway. Cowley to chase down Willie Hanna. Well, Willie Hanna looked like he had nothing in that battle. Cowley, once again, looking on form. They come off the line, it will be Willie Hanna to lead, Martin Cowley to give chase, and Cowley knows that Willie Hanna will put everything into this, 110%, and look at Willie Hanna dabbing the foot brake, getting that car nice and high on the bank as Martin Cowley hunts him down, travelling through the smoke. Oh, and Willie Hanna shuts it down, and Martin Cowley executes a perfect overtake. What was that? Martin Cowley just put the exclamation mark on it, and it takes them back off the car. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Martin Cowley fires in to the roundabout. Can he keep it going? What? Are you serious?
I don't think we've seen anything that dramatic.
Are you serious?
Ian, it's all right. It's all right. I think you
No, I need to see a replay of that. Look at this from Martin Cowley. Hanna is absolutely flying. Cowley glues it to the side of that R33 Nissan Skyline. Willie Hanna starts to get a little bit choked up. He knows that Cowley's there. Look at Cowley. Look at that dive from Cowley as he makes a perfect overtake. And then this. Cowley slams the throttle down. He says, this is my championship. Watch the transition. He says, goodbye, spoiler. You are not my pal anymore. Boom, she's off. Keeps in the throttle, and Willie Hanna says, you cannot be serious right now. Is this guy for real? Buxton, make some noise! I tell you what, let me tell you something right now. I travel all around the world, and there is nothing like coming home and seeing UK drifting, because that is serious business. Who takes the win? Slide him left for Cowley, right for Hanna, one for Cowley. Martin Cowley gets the win! judges. I mean, wow.
It was all down to the overtake, and fair play to Willie Hanna there for getting off the brake and being able to get out of the corner. Amazing bit of drifting, and rightly deserved. Martin Cowley takes the win.
Unreal, absolutely unreal. I'm speechless.
We're done. That is it.
That's it.
We are done.
We don't need to say any more. That's it.
We're finished.
That was quite amazing.
Brad, our head judge Brad wants to have a quick word. Brad.
So, for the record, that's the craziest thing I've seen this season. Hands down. Sparks onto spoiler, and then he knocks it off.
And an overtake.
And avoids a crash. Hands down, just savage.
Well, look, we're not even in the final yet. I don't even know how much more crazy this can get, but Matt Stevenson said to me there'll be fireworks, and Martin Cowley said, well, where are they? Let's create our own. So we go back to the start line, and this is for the final place in the final four. It will be Louis Edwards to take on Stu Jones. Can Louis Edwards get into the final four with Cunningham and Cowley? He needs to do it. He needs to make it count. They come flying in, but look at Stu Jones onto the door. Goes Stu Jones as he starts to push. Oh, and Stu Jones into the wall. I'm done. I'm done. Stick a fork in me. I'm done.
Ian can't deal with any more of this drama right now. Unbelievable.
Wow.
And Stu's just spun at the bottom as well there. Got a bit too excited.
There's something bent on that cart, that's for sure.
There has to be, yeah.
He must have made contact. Look at this. We're going to take a quick look at the replay of that initiation from Louis Edwards and Stu Jones. And I tell you what, if Stu Jones can't continue in competition, we might have just seen Louis Edwards grace the final four. So Louis Edwards just having a word with our track marshals there, and we can see Stu Jones' arm out the window. Can that car even compete? So, it does look like Stu Jones is going to call a 5-minute rule potentially. We're just waiting to get that confirmed from our track marshal. Yeah, 5-minute rule there called by Stu Jones. So Stu Jones calls a 5-minute rule to have a little check of that car just to make sure it's all right. And Louis Edwards, well, he's going to be thinking, this can't be for real. This can't be real life right now.
So we've got Louis Edwards. At the moment, he's still in the game.
Well, he currently sits with a 10-0 advantage, potentially.
Yeah, potentially, yeah, in theory.
So he's kind of got 1 foot in the final four, where we've already got Paul Cunningham, Martin Cowley and Stephen Fitzgerald. Stephen Fitzgerald's in this thinking, what is going on?
What am I doing with these guys? They're all crazy.
Crazy is an understatement.
It is, isn't it? That doesn't do it justice.
That's what it is. It's absolutely insane right now. So we are just waiting to find out what is going on, if we are going to wait for the 5-minute rule for Stu Jones and Louis Edwards, or we are going to move forward to the Cunningham and Fitzgerald battle. So as soon as we know that, we will let you know. Buxton, you having some fun? That won't do.
No, they sound a bit cold now.
That is terrible.
Yeah. Come on, they can do better than that.
We won't push them just yet. We've got
We'll
to get to the final and the third and fourth place playoff just yet. Yeah, so. Wow, I'm still in shock from Martin Cowley.
I'll tell you what, Martin Cowley, wow.
That was just insane, absolutely insane.
The most insane manoeuvre I've seen all year.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that's without his spoiler fiasco. That was just the overtake.
So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, after we finish this, we're going to let some fireworks off. We've got a little movie to show on the big screen. Then we will all be heading to the party tent where the generic white guy will be putting on a party for us, and we're going to party for a few hours, and then we're going to come back tomorrow morning and we're going to do it all again. Our pro championship will be decided, and from what we've seen in practice so far today, the pros are pushing hard. And let me tell you, Matt Carter has come back. He's returned back to England after his European campaign, and he said, I'm going to come back to BDC, I'm going to come to the final event, I'm just going to come to have fun and mess it up. And I tell you what, they call him #the door hunter, and he today was hunting some doors.
Yeah, I was watching him in practice.
He was absolutely flying. So tomorrow is going to be spectacular. Don't forget, we have got a very, very close championship. Aramis Fiscalis fighting Martin Wonnacott tooth and nail all the way through. That one could be decided early on, or that one could be decided at the podium. Who knows? Who knows how that's going to play off? And don't forget, obviously, Sunday, non-live stream. We're going to have some serious fun. Battle Royale. I mean, 100 and something battles, I think it is.
How are we going to cope?
100.
You have no voice left.
So it's 126 twin battles. There's no qualifying. They've all been drawn out of. So every driver was given a number. They were randomly. Those numbers were put into a random generator online, and that randomly generated the twin battle. So all those guys have already know who they're going to be battling. We've released that online, and we're just taking a quick look back on the replay there of Martin Cowley's incredible overtake and spoiler removal. But yeah, so the battle royale, the no qualifying, no 5-minute rules, no one more times.
Okay.
So it's do or die. You go out there and you put it all on the line, or you go home. It's a go hard or go home situation.
Yeah, we're going to see some serious stuff on Sunday, and it's not live stream, so you have to come down and watch it.
You have to come out your house.
It'll be worth it.
You have to leave your bed or your warm, comfy sofa, and you have to come and watch it.
It will be worth it.
It's going to be packed, and like I said, we're not going to give everything away just yet, but we're going to have some serious fun with the commentary, and just expect some, real fun, a real different event. 126 battles.
Something like 126. That's
crazy. I'm not even going to be out of last. I can barely do a top 32.
Yeah, your voice is going to be gone by dinner time.
What voice?
Yeah.
I've got tomorrow to get through yet. So we are just waiting to find out. I'm going to ask my track marshal Toby what is going on. Tobster, tell us what's happening. Right, so we are going to wait for this 5-minute rule. We are waiting to find out if Stu Jones can make it back out to compete, because it is the final battle in the bracket of our Grade 8. We cannot advance through into the final 4 battles until we have got Stu Jones back on the line, or if he retires from competition. So clock is currently running. I'm going to try and find out how long he's got left on that clock.
Can't be very long now.
It can't be very long now. No, I've been rambling, boring everybody online and here in attendance for the last 5 minutes. And not to forget a massive shout out to the guys supplying the fireworks here this weekend. Phenomenal fireworks, partnered up with the BDC for the final round to put on a show. And don't forget, we're letting them off tonight. We're letting a little selection off. Love some fireworks, mate.
Yes, I do too. We don't have to wait until bonfire night this time. Yeah,
no.
It's early.
It's early. So, Toby, tell us. Oh wow, ladies and gentlemen, and I can confirm, news coming through from our track marshals that Stu Jones has retired from competition. That means that Louis Edwards gets the win and advances through to the final 4. And let me tell you something right now, if this championship didn't throw things up in your face, it just certainly has, because we have got an incredible final 4. You guys in attendance, take a look at the big screen. Everybody at home, you can take a look right now. And there we go, Sarah, the final 4 battle.
Unreal. I mean, you've got Cowley and Edwards, who were, second and third in the championship anyway. Cunnington, who's 4th, so he's just sneaking up behind them there. And then Fitzgerald just going, I'm just going to come in and mess it all up for everyone.
He's in it for the fun, that's for sure. Well, look, let me tell you so right now, the Cowley-Edwards battle could be a big one. That could decide who wins the championship, because Cowley's in 3rd, Edwards is in 2nd. Josh King's out of the game. Could come down to that battle right now. So here we go. So I'm going to look to this track marshal Toby and find out what's going on. Do we have a Cunnington Fitzgerald battle up next? We certainly do, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get those guys on circuit and ready to party. And this is for a place in the final.
So this is absolutely no pressure for these guys, yeah?
This is all the pressure.
It's not like it's the final and the championship rides on any of this.
This is for all the pressure. And let me tell you something right now. Paul Cunnington hasn't won one of these battles all season. He hasn't been in this position. Well, he had been in this position, but he hasn't won this battle to be in the final. Yeah. He's always been in the 3rd and 4th place playoff.
He's always been the bridesmaid, hasn't he?
He's always been the bridesmaid. Stephen Fitzgerald looks strong. He looks like a contender. But Paul Cunnington right now looks like the man. He looks like your championship winner. Can he prove it? Can he cement that fact? Well, he has got to take down one of the Irish finest drivers right now in Stephen Fitzgerald. And we can see there a nervous Louis Edwards as he cannot believe his luck. He cannot believe he's just been gifted a spot into the final 4. But sitting behind him is the madman, Martin Cowley.
We have to call him Mad Martin from now on. I think he's earned it. I tell you what, he's bringing a different level today, Martin Cowley.
So there we go, Stephen Fitzgerald makes his way around the back of the circuit with Paul Cunnington to warm the tyres on the back of those 2 Nissan 260s. And here we go, it will be Cunnington to lead and Stephen Fitzgerald to give chase. And look at Cunnington's face. He is beaming, a grin ear to ear. He cannot believe it. He cannot believe he's in this situation. We give the thumbs up to our start line marshal, Toby, and we are ready to rock and roll. Here we go for a spot in the final. They are off the line. Cunnington to lead, Fitzgerald to give chase. And a nice initiation from both of them, but separation already now. Fitzgerald shallows up the angle, trying to find the side of Cunnington's S14. As Cunnington shallows up himself, they come absolutely screaming through the middle of the circuit. And now Fitzgerald starts to rein in the side of Paul Cunnington's S14. Smoke being thrown in the face of Stephen Fitzgerald as Cunnington opens up a big gap. He gets nice and close to the wall. Fitzgerald not in the fight. Can he shortcut the circuit? He's definitely going to try to, as he transitions onto the side of Cunnington's S14. Onto the back bumper he goes and across the line.
Cunnington is absolutely on fire this weekend. I mean, he's showing what he's capable of. He's just bringing it up another step this weekend completely. He's really good in for this championship.
This is a whole new Paul Cunnington.
Yeah.
We've never seen this side of Paul Cunnington before. We have seen him all season fight tooth and nail to be in this championship, but he currently sits fourth in the points. Well, he did sit fourth in the points.
I dare say he might not now.
He has absolutely proved himself this weekend. He has come out a different man, and you know what? He has earned himself a pro licence. He has earned himself a place in that pro championship for 2020. They sit on the line. Stephen Fitzgerald says, well, this is do or die. I need to put everything on the line right now. Cunnington looks over and he says to himself, there is no way, there is not a hope in hell right now that I am going to let Stephen Fitzgerald ruin my championship. I will not be battling for third and fourth. I will be in the final, and I don't care who it's against, but this is my weekend. The back end of those cars battered and bruised and destroyed from running the walls and taking each other out of the game. And look at that, Fitzgerald straps himself in a little bit tighter and prepares to hold on as our track marshals just finish up the final tidy up of the final cones. Oh, and it's starting to rain here in Word. It's starting to rain ever so slightly. Oh, this could mix it up now. This could really mix it up. We are getting the thumbs up. Cunnington, look at that focused look on his face. He slots the car in gear and he says, one more run to go. That could be in the final. They're off the line to go. Fitzgerald to lead, Cunnington to give chase, and Fitzgerald comes absolutely screaming in, but look at Cunnington. He knows he needs to be door and door with the Irishman right now. They come down through the middle of the circuit, and look at Cunnington, finds himself way on the inside of the track. He's going to jump straight up onto the side of Stephen Fitzgerald. Onto the bumper he goes. Some separation opens up as Cunnington gives Fitzgerald the opportunity to transition. Back onto the wall goes Fitzgerald. Cunnington, no mistakes this time. Gains that proximity as he looks for the side once again. Almost contact, and Cunningham takes his bumper off on the back end. The Fitzgerald car and stays in it across the line.
Unbelievable. That was epic. Epic. Both drivers really proving their why they're in this final four.
Well, look at this. Easy decision for the judges. Slide them left for Cunnington, right for Fitzgerald. One vote for Cunnington. Cunnington gets the win! Paul Cunnington gets the win and advances through to the final. Judges, we quickly throw it to you.
An amazing run for both drivers, but Paul had a really strong lead line. Stephen didn't bring the fight and not as close. And on the second run, Stephen had a massive over rotation coming into the roundabout, which was a big enough error where we gave the advantage to Paul. 6-4, and that was the win through.
So there we go. Paul Cunnington gets the win, advances through into his first ever final battle of the year. And now we move it along to this one. It will be Martin Cowley to take on Louis Edwards. And Louis Edwards now saying, well, this is it. This could have been the final, but we're going to have it in the playoff for the third and fourth place, or the place in the final. Who is going to take the last step in the final battle? As Cowley fires it in, it looked like Louis Edwards was going to shallow up massively there, but he didn't. He stayed in it. As now Louis Edwards looks for the side of Martin Cowley as he transitions early across the track, but a big mistake from Louis Edwards as he has to straighten and shallow up the angle massively to find the side of Martin Cowley's car. Cowley is absolutely flying right now as he gets back up onto the wall. Once again, Louis Edwards looks for the side of that S14 and finds it as he jumps onto the foot brake and pushes Martin Cowley into the roundabout. They transition bumper to bumper. moment, but Louis Edwards spins! Louis Edwards spins!
Well, I tell you what, that is probably a dictionary definition of pressure getting to you there.
That is it. When you say pressure, that is it.
I tell you what, I have no idea at this stage what that means for the championship.
I don't even want to try and presume
I know I can't.
or guess. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Wow.
Well, they pull back to the line, and Martin Cowley sits there and he says, I've been doing it all day, I could do it again, I could get in the final, I can take on Cunnington. Here we go, Louis Edwards fires that car in, and Cowley gives him some room. He knows he can't make a mistake now, as Martin Cowley looks for the side of Louis Edwards' BMW, and he's absolutely glued to the rear as Martin Cowley transitions and jumps back onto the opposite side of the car. Look at Martin Cowley, he's wheel to wheel with Louis Edwards as they transition through the middle of the circuit. Louis Edwards gets himself back onto the wall, but look at Martin Cowley, makes another dive up onto the side of Louis Edwards, and Martin Cowley said, this is my time to shine. He jumps back onto the passenger side of Louis Edwards and pushes Louis Edwards across the line.
I'm lost for words. That was absolutely amazing. I mean, Louis Edwards there, he did a great lead run, but I just think Martin Cowley, I mean, the proximity, you can't ignore that.
Well, there we go. Look, decisions in. Slide them left for Cowley, right for Edwards, and there we go. Martin Cowley gets the win. Martin Cowley gets the win. Judges, phenomenal.
That is the best chase run we've watched, and the best battle of the day so far. It's just a shame Louis had an over rotation. It looked like it was probably one of the fastest runs he's had of the day, but wow, Martin was absolutely glued to the door on that second run there, and fair play to both drivers.
Brilliant. I mean, thanks for that, Ben. Unbelievable run. I can't get that run out of my head. I mean, Martin Cowley today, whatever he's had for breakfast, I think the rest of them need to start having the same thing.
I'm lost for words. I don't even know what to say. This is insane stuff.
Unbelievable.
And let me tell you something though. Paul Cunnington and Martin Cowley have had a whole year-long rivalry. They have battled each other all year. But every single battle they've ever had has been third and fourth place playoffs.
This is serious now.
Now they've got themselves in the final. I don't even know what this means for the championship. Does the winner of that battle take the championship? Or has Louis Edwards done enough? If he gets third step on the podium, has Louis Edwards done enough to take the championship?
Yeah, does he still have the points?
I don't even know. I
can't work out the points now. I can't do it. It's too much.
The nerds in the van have got the abacuses going. They're counting their fingers, they're counting their toes. They don't even know what's going on right now. They're writing script down. They're trying to work this out. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going on right now. But I tell you what, by the end of tonight, we will know, and we will tell you who has been crowned the 2019 Pro-Am champion. But right now, we are getting ready for our third and fourth place playoff. It will be Stephen Fitzgerald to take on Louis Edwards, and Louis Edwards will go back to the paddock to check that car and make sure he needs tyres. I tell you what, Stephen Fitzgerald, though, he's back out on track already. He's almost ready to head to the start line. He's eager. So we are finding out that Louis Edwards does need tyres. Louis Edwards is down in the paddock getting tyres, getting some fuel, and he's going to just take a breather for a second. He's going to say, one more battle. If I can take the third step on the podium, does that mean I get the championship? That is what he's going to be asking himself.
Yeah, he's going to be trying to work that out. And then Cunnington and Cowley. I don't know if I can watch, to be fair. I think I might have to look the other way.
Look, the Cunnington-Cowley battle, I mean, they're third and fourth place in the championship already. They're going for first and second place on the podium. I mean, how do the points stack up? I don't even want to guesstimate. I kind of know in my head. I kind of know where they're sitting, but I don't want to say anything because I do not want to put out there the wrong decision.
Yeah,
I don't want to give anyone a header and say, hey, look, he's got to the championship. So I'm not even going to put it out there. I'm just going to surmise of what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me tell you what, it's been an incredible Pro-Am season, and these guys have battled incredibly hard for Pro-Am drivers, and they have put on such a good show. And look, to see Paul Cunnington and Martin Cowley have this year-long rivalry and then take it to the final for first and second place, it's just mental.
They're in the final. Like, it couldn't be any better. Like, it couldn't be a better story. It's brilliant.
I mean, and to lose Josh King, in top 32 at the championship, when it looked like it was his. He's took first step on the podium 3 times this season. That's an incredible achievement.
Brilliant.
And
more than the rest of them.
Yeah, he's drove so well, but just at the last minute. So we are going to go down to our man on the ground, Matt House. I'm going to give my voice 2 seconds to recover before we get the insanity of the final battles underway. Matt House is down with Stephen Fitzgerald to find out how he's feeling ahead of his 3rd and 4th place playoff. Matt.
Yeah, that's it, Ian. You have a little break because we've got a final to come. But before that, we have this man playing off the playoff for the top 4. How you doing, Mr. Fitzgerald?
I'm okay, not too bad.
So how have you found the championship, being over here for the British Drift Championship, coming over from Ireland?
It's been great fun, unbelievable fun, and everyone in the pits helping. Great.
You obviously had a little bit of an off at Three Sisters. Is the car sort of 100%?
100% now, yeah. They fixed it in loads of time that time, and got all new parts into last week.
And how are you finding Buxton this weekend?
Tricky, very tricky. As you can see, the back of the cars and bits.
It's a challenging track, isn't it?
Yeah. It was challenging in the wet this morning, and then it changed to dry. It got worse. But
I mean, it's incredible, the track, and the speed that you guys are getting around this oval is unbelievable. But there's no room for error.
No room whatsoever. Not so. I've made a few errors and I've paid the price.
Well, the car's still looking straight, and you're in the top 4, so you must be doing something right.
Yeah, I'm happy I'm here. I'm good with that.
And you're coming back again next year?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, it's absolutely amazing and lovely to have you. Good luck in the top 4. Back to the tower.
Thank you, Matt. And it's brilliant to hear from Stephen Fitzgerald there, and a little bit of an insight on what his round has been like for him today. I think he's looking a bit nervous, I think he's looking a bit nervous, and I don't blame him either.
Yeah, look, he would be nervous. He knows he's got a good contender. He knows he's got Louis Edwards to take on. And Stephen Fitzgerald, he's been such a good, a character to have around here, and he's such a good driver to have in the championship. I've known this guy a very long time, and it's so good to have him here driving, and for him to say he's coming back next season. Well, he'll be potentially a pro driver, so he'll be mixing it up in that pro category. There we go, the final battle tree all played out and ready to go, and as we just await the return of Louis Edwards. So don't forget that tomorrow we will be live once again, Sarah.
Absolutely, for the pros this time. If this is not epic enough, we've got the pros out tomorrow.
Yeah, if this is not epic enough, tomorrow will be our pro championship decided. Yeah, look, back live again, 4 o'clock tomorrow in the afternoon. Hopefully we'll have some of the same sort of weather. It'll be chilly but dry. That's fine.
I can deal with that. That's fine.
So yeah, 4 o'clock tomorrow we kick off our qualifying here at the final round of the British Drift Championship for our Pro Championship. And as I mentioned earlier, a lot of those drivers looking very, very good, but some guys coming back to mess things up ever so slightly. And as you can hear in the background, that is the sound of Stephen Fitzgerald warming up the tyres on the back of that crazy Quins M Sport Fitzgerald Vehicle Works S15. And Stephen Fitzgerald says, well, it's the final event of the year for me. Could this be the podium that I wanted? Could this be the trophy that I need to take home for the family? Well, he's pulled up to the line, ready to rock and roll, and we await Louis Edwards to join him. Edwards will lead, and Fitzgerald will give chase. So as we see in the background, Louis Edwards making his way to the start line. Fitzgerald, cool, calm and collected, thumbs up to the camera, thumbs up to the start line marshal on the back of that S15, needing a lot of work in the off season. But before we send them for the 3rd and 4th place playoff, Buxton, are you still with me? Well, here we go, Buxton. This is it for the 3rd step on the podium. It will be Louis Edwards to take on Stephen Fitzgerald. Louis Edwards to lead, Stephen Fitzgerald to give chase. We get the thumbs up all round in the tower. Louis Edwards adjusts his hat. He looks in the mirror. He says to himself, you can do this. You can do this, buddy. He looks across at Stephen Fitzgerald. He says, let's go. They're off the line. Louis Edwards to lead, Stephen Fitzgerald to give chase as Edwards fires in consistently all day the same line. Fitzgerald looks for the side of that BMW and he trusts the young gun. Starts to rein in some lost ground right now to Stephen Fitzgerald as he straightens massively in the middle of the circuit. An error from Fitzgerald as they come down into that front clipping point. Louis Edwards absolutely flying on that perfect qualifying line. He jumps back up onto the wall once again and some separation opens up as Fitzgerald desperately looks for the side of that BMW. And here he comes as he starts to rein him in on the roundabout. Fitzgerald Up onto the side he goes, but no chance as Edwards squeezes the throttle and drives away.
Really strong lead from Louis Edwards, and Stephen Fitzgerald there giving it his all, but I think there's a couple of little wobbles that are not going to go in his favour. But he's usually quite strong in the lead position, so we'll see how he fares in a moment.
Well, you know what, this one could be anyone's right now.
It really could.
And Stephen Fitzgerald, he made a couple of mistakes in that chase position, but he pulls up to the line ready to lead out Louis Edwards. And here we go, the final run of our third and fourth place playoff. Buxton, you ready? Here we go, they're off the line. Stephen Fitzgerald to lead. Louis Edwards to give chase right now, and an early initiation, but look at Louis Edwards, he makes a big dive up to the side of that S15, and look at Louis Edwards, hungry for the podium, hungry for success, as he chases down Stephen Fitzgerald down into the outer zone as Fitzgerald shortcuts the circuit, trying to get away, trying to drive away from Louis Edwards, but there is no chance that Louis Edwards is going to give up the fight this easy. Fitzgerald absolutely screams into that final turn as Louis Edwards gives him some room and now starts to hunt him down once again. Into the roundabout they go as Edwards balances that BMW on the back end of the S15. Buxton makes some noise.
Epic drive again from both drivers there. I mean, that's a tough one to call for me. I think a couple of little errors from Stephen in the first one he was chasing, but I think Louis gave quite a strong run in both there.
Well, look, we're not going to give you guys the decision right now. All we need to know is if our judges have a decision. So judges, do we have a decision?
We certainly do have a decision.
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, the third and fourth place playoff is done and dusted, and we will take that one to the podium, and that means we have just one more battle to go, Sarah, and that is it. The final battle of the 2019 Pro-Am Championship. And what a final battle this is going to be.
I reckon this is going to be one of the best battles that we have seen all year. So we can see for the final first and second place, Paul Cunnington and Martin Cowley making their way around to the start.
So there we go, yeah, Cunnington and Cowley make their way round to the start line. And I've just been told by our governor, our commissioner, Matt Stevenson, that we will be opening the gate onto the circuit. So for you guys in attendance, you can make your way around onto the circuit to come and celebrate with our drivers. We have got a short video to play you guys of the 2019 season. Come and congratulate these guys, come and see these absolutely destroyed race cars, and look at the back end of Martin Cowley's car. Toby, just 1 second. We can't send the final battle of 2019 that could decide the championship just like that, willy-nilly. No chance. I need every single person here in Buxton to make some noise! That's what I'm talking about, Buxton. You know what? You nailed it on the first go. Buxton, let's go. Toby, let's send them. It will be Paul Cunnington to lead, Martin Cowley to give chase. This could be it for the championship. They are off the line. Cunnington fires it in, but look at Cowley, hungry for it as Cunnington sticks it to that qualifying line. But look at Martin Cowley. Everything to gain right now as he hunts down the side of Paul Cunnington's S15, and an early transition from Martin Cowley sets himself up perfectly on the door as he goes absolutely flying into that front clipping point. Look at Martin Cowley. He's glued to the side of Paul Cunnington right now. Some separation opens up as Martin Cowley gives him room to manoeuvre. Both guys get nice and close and personal as they fire down into the roundabout. Oh, and Cunnington almost makes contact with Martin Cowley as they bring it across the line.
I've got no words left. That was one of the most exciting battles I think I've seen all year. Two really strong, confident drivers. I knew that was going to be good.
Crazy stuff there.
I can't separate that though.
Paul Cunnington slowed that car down going into that roundabout, and Martin Cowley didn't know where to go. He just about held on to it. But Martin Cowley made an error coming into that final outside zone. Martin Cowley was way down on the bank. You can see Cunnington, he was up onto the wall on that wide qualifying line. Look, you've done it once, Buxton. You've done it once. Can you do it again for the final time of our Pro-Am Championship? Buxton, make some noise! Toby, let's send them. Cunnington to give chase, Cowley to lead. This is it. This could be for everything. All the marbles, the championship, the whole year, the rivalry, the lot. They're off the line. It will be Cowley to lead and Cunnington to give chase. And look at Cunnington with an early initiation as he hunts down the door of Mine Cowley, as he absolutely glues that car to the back end of Mine Cowley. Mine Cowley transitions to Cunnington, shortcuts the circuit, finds himself onto the door. He goes as he goes wheel to wheel with Mine Cowley in front of the judging tower. Mine Cowley takes down cones and some separation opens up, and Cunnington gives him some room now, starts to rein in Mine Cowley once again. They jump back onto the side of each other as Cunnington finds the side of Cowley for one last time. Buxton, show your appreciation.
I don't know how the judges are going to separate this. I just don't understand how they can pick between the two. I mean, that was just epic in both rounds. Absolutely epic.
Well, I mean, it could go one more time.
I can't. You can't deal with it. Never mind me.
I'm going to have to rest. That's what I need to rest.
Yeah.
We're going to look across to our judging panel. They're deliberating this one. Ladies and gentlemen, as they get out of the car, show your appreciation. Martin Cowley and Paul Cunnington. So, judges, we need to throw it to you. Judges, do we have a decision?
We have got a decision.
And it is?
One more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go one more time! Judges, we need to ask you the all-important question. Why was that a one more time? Throwing it back to you.
We gave the advantage there on the first run was a 6-4 to Paul from having such a strong lead run and a few little minor errors from Martin in between. But then when we switched them around, it was the same again. It was a 6-4 advantage to Martin. There was too much in it, proximity in terms of few slight errors. So it's a one more time.
I think they do this on purpose. They can hear me breaking down ever so slightly. They can hear a little bit of me dying inside as my voice starts to leave my body, and they say, "Oh, you know what we'll do? We'll just do it one more time."
Yeah, I reckon you're right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what. It wasn't going to be that easy, was it? We wasn't going to give it to you that easy. That's for sure.
Yeah, this is never going to be a straightforward battle. I mean, these two guys, like you say, rivalry all year round. Have we got a van going for a battle down there as well?
So that looks like we are going to. We're almost ready to set up the podium because this is. I mean, this can only go one more time once. This is it.
Yeah,
we can only have one more time. So
that is it.
So we are just waiting to find out where these guys are. I'm guessing they've gone back to the pits for tyres and some fuel. Yep, I'm getting the nod. So we are. We're going to have to, bore you for another couple of minutes until we get those guys back out and ready to rock and roll. Don't forget, we are live once again. I'm going to say it again so you don't forget, because I don't want you to miss out on it. Because I tell you what, if you've missed out on this,
you've missed out on a lot.
You've missed out on a lot, because what an insane event it was. It's been incredible. We are live tomorrow at 4 p.m. for our Pro Top 24 qualifying session. Stacked grid. These guys are going to be in it, that's for sure. Some returning drivers from Europe. Look, it's going to be insane, and a championship on the line. Martin Wonnacott taking on Vasiliauskas. Look, they've been battling it out all year, and it's going to come down to this. And I've got a sneaky feeling it could come down to the final.
I reckon it will. I reckon we'll do the same as we always do. We think, yeah, we know what's happening here. First couple of runs, we know what's happening here. And then they'll go, nah, no you don't. We're going to throw it all up in the air again.
Well, we're going to have that, but we're going to have that on tomorrow from 4 p.m. onwards. We were doing top 24 qualifying, and then we'll be live for top 24 all the way through to the final. We will crown our champion, and and obviously on Sunday, Battle Royale.
Live in person only.
Live in person only. Yeah, you can only view it in person, non-live streamed, unless someone live streams it on their iPhone. And you can see Malks there, our start line marshal, just warming up his tyres on the back of Stephen Fitzgerald's car exhaust. It's cold toes, that's what he's got.
It's cold toes. Not surprised stood out there in them shorts. So it's a nervous wait now.
Sorry to interrupt everybody, but can we get a round of applause for all the track staff who stayed out here in the rain and the cold just to put this on? So can we get a round of applause for Malks, Mini, Ammo, all the stewards out here, all you guys who have put this on. Thank you ever so much.
There we go, Ben just having a little jump. He's bored, isn't he? He's bored waiting. He wants to see some more door-on-door action.
That was valid, though. It was valid. We couldn't do it without these guys down there.
No, we couldn't do it with none of these guys, and these guys worked tirelessly in all weather conditions to put this show on for you. So I'm being asked if we do a Mexico. There's not enough people here yet for that. We'll wait. We'll save that. We'll save it. Don't peak too early, Ben. You guys are getting too excited with yourselves, and you're peaking too early. Judges, you let them off the chain once, and they're gone. They're like wild dogs. They're like wild dogs. They're just running for the hills. Running, they are. That's what they are. You have to rein them in. You have to sit them down for 5 minutes and say to them, "Stop it." And now we're getting stuff thrown at us, Sarah.
I've just nearly had my head took off by something.
Your eye took out.
Tell you what. Which one of you was that?
That was Ben Manuel.
Manuel. Like I'd need to guess. I'll get you back tomorrow.
Sunday you can get him back. You can get him back Sunday at the Battle Royale. But if you're not here in person, Sarah, how will you know?
Well, I will be, so it's fine.
So it's fine, you can get him back there. So there we go, we can see Martin Cowley make his way back onto circuit. And Martin Cowley will be sitting in that car, and he would have spoke to his crew and said, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to win? And they say, well, they would have said, look, no mistakes. You cannot make a mistake at this level. Cunningham is absolutely on form. His lead line is impeccable. Yeah, he made a few mistakes in the chase, but you need to be, flawless in the chase position.
I think that's going to be the only thing separating this one more time.
It's going to come down to a mistake.
Details,
it's going to be whoever makes a mistake. And it'll be, fine lines, splitting hairs from our judges. As we can see, Paul Cunningham making his way back onto the circuit. That means we are almost ready to go. It's that time again. This is it. We can't do any more one more times.
This
is it. This is the final battle. This is the final battle of 2019 for our Pro-Am Championship, as Martin Cowley smokes the tyres on the back of that team locked and loaded S14. Not a lot left of it, mind you, by now.
There isn't, you're right there, but that just shows he's been pushing it for me.
He certainly has been pushing it. He's been pushing it to the limit. So as we wait for Paul Cunningham to warm his tyres and pull to the start line, we got any Martin Cowley fans in the house? There's a few of them guys, let me tell you that for nothing. We got any Paul Cunningham fans in the house? There's a few Paul Cunningham fans in the house. Right, Buxton, are you ready to rock and roll for the final runs? Toby, let's get them underway. It will be Paul Cunningham to lead, Martin Cowley to give chase. The final runs of the day. We are go! Look at Cowley not messing around this time. He knows he needs to make a big early dive. Up onto the door he goes. No separation. He's reining Cunningham in as they come down through those outer zones in the middle of the circuit. Now look at Cowley this time. No messing around. Up onto the door nice and early. No shortcut into the circuit from either of these guys. As Martin Cowley gets wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper. Oh wow! Almost contact on transition. As Martin Cowley gives Paul Cunningham no room. No mistakes this time either. A little bit of separation, but now Cowley squeezes the throttle and looks for the back end as he jumps back onto the side of Paul Cunningham's car, and he pushes Paul Cunningham across the line.
That was a pretty perfect run on all accounts there. This is all going to come down to this last run, and if somebody makes a mistake.
Look at this. Look at the mind games from Martin Cowley. Martin Cowley on the back bumper of Paul Cunningham. Look at this from Martin Cowley. He is not messing around. He wants to take down Paul Cunningham right now, and he will do anything. Well, this is it. This is the final run. This is the final run of our Pro-Am Championship 2019. Buxton, are you ready? Toby, let's go. It will be Martin Cowley to lead, Paul Cunningham to give chase, and this is it. Who can make it through unscathed? Who will fall at the final hurdle? We're about to find out. Cowley with an early initiation as he gets nice and deep into outside zone 1. Cunningham onto the side he goes though, as he looks down the side of Martin Cowley's F14. They transition through the middle of the circuit. Cunningham desperate to find the side of Martin Cowley's S14, and look at this from Paul Cunningham, glued to the side of Martin Cowley as they transition through the smoke. Up onto the wall they go, as Paul Cunningham now looks once again for Martin Cowley's S14. Cowley is absolutely pinned as he comes through the final zones. Onto the bumper they go, and Martin Cowley and Paul Cunningham push each other around the final turn.
Wow. I don't know how the judges are going to call this, because for me that just looked so close, but they can't do it again. That has to be it, and this is going to decide. You've got third and fourth in the championship at the moment, And this is just going to throw the whole thing up in the air once again. And this could really, really turn the championship on its head.
Look, they are going to be splitting hairs. Ladies and gentlemen, as Martin Cowley and Paul Cunningham get out of their cars, show your appreciation! What a pair of titans. What gladiators those two guys are. They fought tooth and nail all season, all the way to the final to put on this show. And it all came down to this. The closest battles we've ever seen in our Pro-Am competition. These guys have not made it easy for our judges.
They certainly haven't. They've both brought some absolute madness out on track today, and they both deserve it, but who's going to take it? We'll find out shortly.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you do want to join these guys down on the circuit, make your way around the track to the gate. We'll be letting you guys on to come down and greet and celebrate and have some fun and see who will take the win here at the final round and who will stand on the podium. It's going to look, it's so close. The judges are still deliberating it. They do not know.
I'm not surprised.
This is the hardest decision they've ever had to judge all year.
It's got to be. Has to be. We can see a lot of you coming down on the track. Get yourselves down onto the track to be part of the actual podium announcement and see these guys up close and personal when you see their reaction, because they don't know who's won yet either.
They don't know.
They don't know who's got what position.
We don't know who's won.
The judges don't know right now. Yeah.
The judges don't even know who's won, because I tell you something right now, they are still deliberating this one. And I need to ask the all-important question, because I'm getting looked at across the tower. Judges, do we have a decision?
Probably the hardest decision ever, but yes, we have a decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the podium! Right, Sarah, I'm going to give my voice just 2 seconds to relax before we shout these out, because it's been an incredible day, an incredible weekend.
Unbelievable.
And as soon as we get the thumbs up from our track marshals here to give out the podium and to give out the celebrations, we will be doing that. And I mean, incredible. I'm just waiting to be handed that all-important piece of paperwork. You know, that piece of paperwork that says who's won,
the official,
who's second, who's third, who took the hard charger. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. If that is not a reason to get down here this weekend and come and have some fun with us, come and party, come and celebrate, I don't know what is. Everybody is having a real good time. And this is just the Pro-Am competition. The Pro-Ams are literally setting this place on fire this year.
They're absolutely setting this place on fire. To be honest, sometimes I think, am I watching Pro-Ams? Because I'm not sure.
You know you're not.
No.
I tell you what you're watching. You're watching pros in the making.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're watching the future of UK drifting. You're watching the best of our UK drivers coming together and pushing each other around the circuit.
You are completely right there.
So we await to get the thumbs up from our track marshals, so that I know we are all good to go. I'm looking down at Matt House, our man on the ground, and I am waiting to find out. Perfect. So there we go, I'm getting the wave from Matt House. That means, ladies and gentlemen, that I can now deliver the good news. And I'm going to give out the first result, and that will be taking the third step on the podium. After an incredible year, an incredible drive, taking third step on the podium, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Louis Edwards! Ladies and gentlemen, Louis Edwards takes third step on the podium, and a massive shout out to Stephen Fitzgerald. What an incredible drive, Sarah. What a guy, what a weekend he's had.
Brilliant drive from Stephen Fitzgerald. I mean, that must have been a tough decision again. You know, he's really brought it this afternoon, hasn't he?
He certainly has, and there he is. Look at that, the beaming smile as Louis Edwards takes third step on the podium. And before we get into first and second place, I'm going to hand out the exciting hard charger. And let me tell you something about this guy. Just a week ago, he was the most nervous man I'd ever seen, but he drove the wheels off his car. And I'm sure that everybody here will agree that this person drove the wheels off their car again this weekend. Taking the exciting hard charger this round. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Danny McGuire! So there we go, Danny McGuire takes the exciting hard charger award, the exciting driver of the year.
He's happy with that.
And he takes a step alongside Louis Edwards on that M-Tech Brakes podium. And there we go, and that is it. Well, first and second place. What an incredible battle. It was so good it had to go one more time. And I can confirm, taking first place here at the final round of the 2019 British Drift Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof for Martin Cowley! Martin Cowley takes first place on the Pro-Am podium. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Paul Cunnington. Paul Cunnington takes second step on the podium. What an incredible year. What an incredible championship. I don't even know if I can do any more. I don't even know if 3 days are possible. What a weekend, Sarah.
This has just been epic. I mean, what a way to finish the Pro-Am battles and the Pro-Am championship. I mean, this is brilliant. I don't know where the points are going to stand now. I mean, yeah, where do the points stand? Any idea yet? I
don't even know, but ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your podium finishers. First place, Martin Cowley. Second place, Paul Cunnington. And third place, Louis Edwards. Well, there we go, Sarah. The final M-Tech Brakes podium of the year done and dusted. Well, and that means we have been told by the nerds in the van that we know the championship standings and who has took the podium. Let's go to a shot. Let's have a look on the screen. Who is your 2019 champion? By 1 point, Louis Edwards is the 2019 Pro-Am champion!
By 1 point, Ian.
Louis Edwards takes the 2019 Pro-Am championship by 1 point. Incredible stuff. Unbelievable, Sarah. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. There we go. Celebrations all round. Louis Edwards is your 2019 Pro-Am British Drift Championship. We will hand those trophies out tomorrow. From me, from Sarah, from all of our judges, from all of our track staff, from everybody here at the British Drift Championship. We'll be live tomorrow for our top 24 qualifying for our Pro-Am Pro Championship at 4 p.m. From everybody here, we'll see you soon.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.